and do it fast. It's time for the Evercast. Are you ready to greet Ed, Rich, Crow, and Pete as they talk Evercade? Good times will never fade. Put away the switchblade, sheath the sword of Vienna. Stop the blaster master, there's no enemy below as we dip into euphoria. Turn on, tune in, and do it fast. It's time for the Evercast.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Evercast. And you notice it's just me. So this is actually historic. This is the first time that it's just been me for Evercast. Holy crap, I think Pete's on vacation. Oh no, Ed no link? Ed no link? I thought I put the link. I just brought no. Just if you go into the studio, it's my fault. It's my fault. Holy crap. I was wondering where Crow was. Yeah, I'll put it in the I can put it in the Discord here, buddy. But yeah, you could just log into StreamYard and you can just pick it from the list. I thought that was kind of odd. Yeah. It is all my fault because I was like, this is the first time I'm here by myself. But don't worry, we'll remedy that. We'll have Crow fly in. I'm just trying to get in here like at the speed of Discord. At the speed of friggin' Discord. We will have Crow join us. Yeah, it's all my fault. Because I was like, he's usually here. There we go. Okay. It's in the chat, dude. It's in the chat. It's in the chat now, Crow. It's in the chat. He'll be flying. He'll be flying in. Oh my goodness. That's probably why I'm here, because that's the first time I forgot that. So while we're waiting on Crow to fly in and all that, and we'll talk about some Evercade topics, should be interesting. Let's see who the hell is in the chat. And we have the Intellivision Gamer. He's ready. He's ready. Good morning, everyone. It's Toplin. Seemingly finished. What arcade cart would you like to see them bring them back for another entry? If there's another Pico arcade, if they could find some other games, I think Irem and Jellico. Actually, Irem and Jellico is an easy pick. Irem and Jellico is an easy pick. Another channel member, Genejoke, Lloyd RJM. Yes, and it is all my fault. Link is in the. I was gonna say link is in the thing. Is in the Discord, buddy. Or you can go to StreamYard.com and log in and pick this from the list. You'll be good. Well, why then? Happy freaking birthday! Happy freaking birthday! It is the infamous Ian Hobbies, and it is Greg Martin. I think we may have Crow. I think we may. Yeah, he's back. He's backstage. There we go.
I'm on stage. I always click on the link you provide. I don't go to StreamYard.
I know. It is my fault. I forgot. So you can go to StreamYard.com and log in too. But yeah, it's all good.
I never do that. I just look at the link. That's
that makes more sense because I was like, this is the first time I'm by myself. Oh my goodness.
I thought maybe everybody overslept or something because usually you post the link like 2 days ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it like, there's no link. Are we even doing one today?
I'll do that again. Just, feel free to bug me, whatever. But yeah, I think Pete's, I think, on vacation visiting people.
Oh, that's right. He is.
Yeah. And Crow is Gandalfing. Ooh, yours arriving on the 29th.
You mean Gandalf is Gandalfing.
Right. Get up. My Chromatic's into the Christmas tree, so I gotta wait. But they did sell out except for GameStop. Fun stuff. But I also do have like Evercade stuff to actually like talk about too as well. And there's no new news, but just stuff that I found on Reddit that I thought might be like
did they
interesting.
Change StreamYard or something? Because everything's in a different spot.
Yes, they did. They have like a media assets section about. Yeah, they moved. Yeah, they did. I logged in. I was like, where the hell is things to click? Yeah, they did that. So yeah, I got some things on Reddit. Why not? But check this out. Somebody actually found both of the Namco museums for $25 each. They're on vacation at a nearby store. What?
Oh, now I'm echoing? No, I'm not. Okay, never mind.
No, you're good. No, you're good.
I heard something really quick. Well, okay, never mind. Just for a second.
No. But yeah, so I guess if you look hard enough, you can find legacy carts for reasonable prices.
Namco Museum 1 and 2.
I'm
just looking at. I know these are on price chart. I'm just kind of curious.
What they're worth on price charting? Yeah.
Well, that's just an aggregation. I just wonder what the aggregation is. I guess I'll just say Evercade.
Greetings, programs. Rush line. Whatever it is, it's too much on price charting. But...
Well, it's just an aggregation, so it's just an average.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? It's hard sometimes to find stuff on here.
Yeah. I'm sure Evercade. But I mean, this price, because I was going to say that you're lucky to even find them for like $40 or $50 each. I know it's not crazy money like Technos, but still one of my two favorite carts. Fantastic Saturday. You're out for 2 weeks? Congrats. I think I'll be off for 2 or 3 days, but it's all good. Holy crap. I know like school's out there nothing. So yeah, while you're looking that up.
Here we go.
You found it.
Well, I have a loose price. These are complete in box. They're not sealed, right? They're just opened and used.
Actually, I think, yeah. They don't look sealed. No, they're not sealed.
So, like, complete in box, it's showing maybe around $28 for Volume 1, but almost $60 for Volume 2.
Wow. Probably because of Splatterhouses.
That's a lot of money for something you can't play in a VS.
Right? That's true. Oh, that's true. I wonder what did people comment? That's crazy. Yeah. Oh. I wouldn't call it a steal. People exaggerating. That's a good price. A steal would be is if they got both of them for $25.
No, a steal would be if you used your 5-finger discount.
Right? Oh my god. Nice. So what else we got here on Reddit? So I thought, somebody they did like the Alpha versus the Astro City Mini. I thought that was just kind of cool, like for a comparison, putting them side by side.
One is more comfortable to play.
Which you own both of these, right?
No, I don't have the Taito one. Hang on a second. I'm having audio issue.
Audio.
No, I should be fine now. It's just a simple fix.
Cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure.
I don't have the Taito egrets. I keep thinking about getting it, but it's only because I would want to get the paddle controller with it.
Yeah.
And the paddle controller is like $150 or something, so.
What? That's disgusting. Yeah, I've heard some people say, and maybe you feel the same on reviews, they wish they had more room, like at the end here, to put their wrist.
Well, here's the thing. You could take that off. You could make your own. You could just.
Sure, but
honestly,
yeah,
it's not bad. I've seen controllers like that. Just regular standalone controllers. If you want more room, make it yourself.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but like for that much money, you shouldn't have to. For $250, you shouldn't have to modify a thing on this.
And if they extended it any further, they'd have to raise the price.
Probably, but that's yeah, probably. Well, something like the Alpha, you can mod it. When you're paying that much money, it should work perfectly. It's like, dude, you're paying a lot of money for it.
And not only that, but then you'd need a bigger box to ship it, and it would weigh more.
Yeah, that's tricky. Well, see, here's the thing, and it's an interesting trade-off. It's nice that it's fully assembled, but they could have made you assemble it yourself like a 1-up and had it been cheaper.
And then people would complain about that.
Yeah.
And honestly, even the arcade 1-ups that are this size, they come pre-assembled. You don't assemble them. It's only the full-size arcade ones you have to assemble.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or
exactly.
not necessarily full size, 3/4 size arcade ones.
Yeah. Yeah. How difficult would it be to improve the Evercade, remove the Evercade parts and put it into a Pi?
Oh,
So
for this, I'd say not. I don't think it would be that big of an issue. And probably
it,
just as
yeah,
difficult as it would be for an arcade one up.
yeah, it would be, but like I think, yeah, I think they would be paying way too much. Like I would get like something cheaper to do that with, but you could do it.
What do you mean? A Raspberry Pi is not cheap enough?
No. I wouldn't pay to like $250 for this and then put a Pi in it. I would get like the arcade one up ones. Yes, it'll be lesser quality, but
The arcade one up ones are still like if you're looking for one that's got 6 buttons, you're still looking at how much those go for. I want to say $150. They're still more expensive than I would think.
the Street Fighter, yeah.
Eh.
Personally, if I was gonna do that, I would just try to find like the full size ones like cheaper. Like on like if you look hard enough, you might be able to find one on sale. But 6 buttons, that's important. Otherwise, you'll be drilling holes and
Or you could just probably go on like Facebook Marketplace and find somebody selling one in your area.
yeah. Or I was gonna say, just get like because pies are pretty cheap. You can get them for like under $100 or like in kits for like a little over that. Just get that, buy yourself an arcade stick, and hook it up to your television. Just do that.
Just
Okay,
kinda
so I don't.
curious.
Yeah. So there's one reason I'm sharing this, and it's just I don't. I really don't like when people exaggerate and have misinformation. I don't know why, but the comment at the bottom here bothered me. And all that. Yeah, full void not loading, and maybe I'll also talk about how like my Toplin 4 died on me, which kind of made me mad last night. But anyways, so they're just saying that they couldn't play full void and all that, but dang it, I'm pretty sure this is the one where they said it.
Was it the first comment? I'm looking at that one thinking that was kind of weird. 90% of possibly
90%.
underpowering
Yeah,
the VSR. No, it either works or it doesn't.
Oh, no, it's not. No, actually, okay. Sorry.
Does it run slower because you're giving it less power?
It wasn't. Yeah. No, it wasn't. Actually, I did want to talk about this, but this isn't the comment that bothered me. Yeah. No, but yeah, that is true. But here's the thing, though, that I find funny. That I find funny about this that I want to bring up. It's interesting with the alphas how they did give bricks, but I kind of feel like we see this question come up a lot. Like people are just like, we're like powered. I'm like, well, if they included the bricks from the beginning, we wouldn't have that issue. Everybody's
yeah. I honestly don't. I just think it would work or it wouldn't work.
Work or wouldn't work.
If you're not giving it enough power, it wouldn't work. If you're giving it enough power, it will work. If you're giving it too much power, I'd like to think that there's some sort of regulator that would prevent it from using too much of the voltage or wattage or whatever.
You're correct. That's the thing that I think people don't realize. Most modern devices, yeah, it takes the power what it needs. It's not going to overload and like cause your thing to blow up.
Because
Yeah.
I don't honestly, they didn't tell us how much it actually needs.
Yeah.
And I guess I could test the adapter they gave us because I could do that. I just haven't. All I did was I plugged it into something else I had. I have it plugged into the same thing. I have my Steam Deck, right? I have the Steam, and I just unplugged the Steam Deck and I plugged it in the Alpha.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, that is like higher.
Yeah,
higher
I mean, it's
voltage.
probably more power than it needs, but I don't think
Yeah.
it's an issue. I think I have run across devices where it's like, but it's like really, really cheaply made stuff where it's like, warning, don't use an adapter that it exceeds this amount or something like that.
Yes.
I've seen that.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it's really cheap stuff that where you get that kind of warning.
100%. So yeah, that you can do force pads, which I tried. Yeah, I'll talk about my Toplin. So surprising. So actually, we could talk about it real quick. So I've been playing Toplin 4, for like the last few days, and then on my last stream, I put in 3 and 4 because it unlocks like the Nintendo version of Snow Bros, which I thought was really cool. Actually, I thought my chat was trolling me when I was doing that live. Played it and all that. What I will say, when I did have Toplin 4 initially, I know like when I would put in a second cart, like it wouldn't always detect it. I would reseed it and it would work. And then last night when I went to stream, it wouldn't work at all. It wouldn't work in my OG. It wouldn't work in my XP, and I even tried it in the Super Pocket. It's funny. Somebody said just send it to Crow and he could flash it.
I probably could. Actually, it depends. There's some of the cartridges that are, let's see, they're the partition on it is different. Sometimes it's a Unix or Linux partition, and sometimes it's like a something else. And if it's a Linux one, I can only read it. I can't write to it. I probably could. I just haven't found the right software because I don't really have a Linux system. But I have found it. And normally I wouldn't even be able to read the Linux ones, but I do have a program where I could read from that. So basically, the first thing I do every cart I get, like I just got the last two. I think, what were the last two? Toplan 4 or something?
Yeah.
And the other one. So basically, the first thing I do is I open them up and I plug them in the computer and I copy everything just to have a backup. Just in case I need that again to fix it.
Yeah. See, that's initially, I guess when I first got into Evercade, I thought that like the games, the ROMs were like on a read only, and there was only a fat partition for file saves. But I think that is the problem.
Making, and I don't know why would it be fat 16 though. That doesn't make sense. Why it should be at least fat 32.
Yeah, or fat ext. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But no, I mean, here's the thing. It'll be fine. I'll email Video Games Plus. They'll be cool about it. They'll send me another one. It won't arrive until next year. But yeah, I hope putting in 3 and 4 didn't bork it. But I did want to play it more. But it just like what really sucked about it is it's just been one of those like tough, busy weeks before Christmas, and I went down to stream to put in the cart, and then it died. And then it also frustrates me because I try to advocate for Blaze because sometimes I can't tell if there's a lot of people that are just complaining about faulty stuff, but then I see people like saying they're having issues with their alpha. So I don't know. It's you can give it 1,000,000 amps. Yeah, it takes only what it needs. I'm not going to dwell on that too much. Happy Friday. Unico did an interview with 19 Fox. Unico accidentally leaked some info about Evercade's SNK deal. Holy crap! I did not know that. Do you know what minute mark that was? Mike? My cock hurts. We'll see. If you know what minute mark it is, let me know. We may look at that. So, okay. So, yeah. So this, okay. So this is the one with the comment at the end. So the reason I bring this up, I've seen kind of more posts like this at hot swapping borked, which kind of sucks, right? And I don't know. Like I said, but then again with the EXP, there are various random problems. I don't know if it's unfortunate situations like mine that are one-offs, but make people mad enough to post it, or if it's just Blaze comes out with a new system and they don't fully test it yet. But they're just saying that, like, that basically they can't hot swap stuff, like it freezes the system and all that. And then he's like, not to be a smartass, he's using this as intended, right? He puts the FAQ, and then I hate when people do stupid stuff like you're hot swapping related electronics. Electronics is stupid. You're going to end up breaking your stuff. No, dude, you're not. And then
it's no different than removing and inserting an SD card. It's like exactly the same as that.
Yeah. It's using the eject feature every time. Blah blah blah. Whether it's a coincidence, I guess it's good to know. No, I thought someone removed their comment.
Well, the thing is that the reason they put that. The reason you have to be careful, though, is if it's just in case it happens to be writing to the cartridge at the time you remove it, that's where the real danger is. And it doesn't always tell you when it's happening. So I wouldn't actually... I think you just be careful not to remove a cartridge while you're playing a game or something.
Yes. You know? Yes. Yeah. Maybe someone removed their comment, but they said Blaze doesn't even recommend doing hot swapping. I'm like, oh my god, dude, I think they deleted their comment because somebody said that. It says no, you can change in hot swap. And that's like the other. I swear to God, like every now and then
it
I'll
even says right there, please ensure you quit any game you're playing. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. But I hate it. There just seems to still be information when people are like it's electronics, don't do it. Or they're just like, it's not supported. It's like, yeah, just make sure you quit it out of the damn game. I don't know. That just
I mean, you think about it, like, yeah, you've been making sure the system has been off for so long on so many
Yeah.
systems that, it's a habit, you get into. You just, oh, never do that, never do that.
Oh, so what did Mike said? He said that basically the Unico said they couldn't get permission to use removable storage on their new SNK handheld because the license belonged to a different part. Oh, that God. Yeah, I think you all may have seen that, like that new handheld where there's no like micro SD slots or anything, and it's gray. They couldn't even have been bothered to like brand it, so it's like not even like worth the collect, and it just has like 40 SNK games on it. Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. What else? Oh, so Crow, this this made me think of you. They said they got their first Evercade device. What stands out right away?
Well, the stickers are specifically
Yes,
placed so they don't cover the Peggy logo.
yes, not yes, exactly. So it's like you could know, but not only that, I would hope that would come off easily because I hate when like look at that there and then this
Well,
like dude.
sometimes it depends on the type of sticker. I've seen
Yeah,
stickers that were very easy to pull off, and especially since it seems to be on the plastic on the outside, it shouldn't be a problem.
yeah.
Especially since they might be fresh stickers, they haven't been on the thing for very long.
Yeah. Until they're starting out their collection. But I was like, yeah, I'm like, oh my god, those labels. Does anyone else say anything?
See, it's more important to know the Peggy logo than to know how many games are in it.
Right? Yeah. So that's what I thought was funny. It's like they had you in mind. Like, nope, we gotta show.
Oh, they didn't have me in mind because if I saw these, I wouldn't buy them.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying they should have done that.
If they wanted me to buy it, they would have put the sticker to hide the Peggy logo.
Uh, and then kind of the other last interesting thing. I like how people are still talking about dip switches. People are still wanting it for the arcade games.
And I can't really blame them. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
because even I have I'm messing through with the emulation station on the Steam Deck, and
Ooh.
I'm trying to figure out, like in RetroArch, even when you're playing arcade games through RetroArch, how do you change the dip switches? Because
Okay. It's a little bit hit. So basically, like, I want to say I think by default, if you press in, like,
yeah, if you hit both of the sticks and you go to the menu, because that's
yeah,
how I would go in to restart the game.
yes, yeah.
Um,
And then you go into and then I think, though, there's like that MAME button. Like when you're in MAME, like normally it's on a keyboard, it's programmed to, I think, tab. Then you can
yeah,
go
it's
under
tab.
switches.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Oh, so it's tab. Okay,
yes,
never.
yeah,
Okay, never. It's the same as MAME because it's actually running the main
yes,
core.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think one of the sticks by default might be programmed to go in there. I can't remember if
I
I
don't
have
think so because I've pressed every single one of them. The thing that bothers me is the fast forward. It's like holding select and the right trigger, but the second you hold select, it actually inserts a coin. So
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they're super glued on. Oh my god. Imagine how many people see the Peggy logo and think, I'm not old enough, no purchase. Oh my god. Yeah, and yeah, lighter fluid, but sometimes I can eat the plastic though.
do you
Um,
think that some people get confused when they see the Peggy logos and think that's like the max limit of the age you're allowed to play it? It's like, oh, I'm too old to play this.
you're right. Yeah. Current ever that's a tricky not in the sense if you were to run one of the Evercade emulators, but yeah, we're emulating ourselves. But I think if they could do what they did with Glover 64, I think if they had the source code, or if they did, depending on the game, if they did a lot of tweaking, I might be able to. But
I'm not sure,
it's,
but
yeah, maybe.
again, we don't really have the proper controller support for that. Oh, we do have analog, but I think some of the games might need analog triggers too.
That's true. Uh, Dip switches and USB a-holes add the technical terms, yes, of the nerds. But yeah, so those are just those are just some things I saw that kind of stood out. But I have been enjoying the new. I don't know if you got a chance to play Life on Mars, but that actually really surprised me.
Well, I'm like I just got that, and I have like 9 other cartridges to play before that.
Yeah, that one's. I know a lot of people, not a lot, but some people don't like Metal Dragon. They just it's like
I've,
it was just.
I've only been able to play like an hour of was it the Blaster Master, whatever. What's the name of that one on the Sunsoft 2? The Game Boy Blaster
Oh
Master
yes,
one.
yeah. That one's tough.
That one is not. I don't know. It's not as good as
The first one.
It's like a demake of the first game.
Yes, yeah. No, it feels. No, it definitely feels like that.
Am I taking so long playing that game that I actually just pulled up maps and everything the last time I played it? And I actually have not. I only played it for like an hour this week, so I'm still like I don't even think I'm halfway through the game still. And I've been playing it for 3 weeks.
Damn. Well, good for you to stick with it. I think I pulled up some FAQ and found maps and I gave up. I like though for the first Blaster Master in the manual they told you the warps for the levels, and I just used that.
That still was kind of a goofy. That wasn't really that helpful. The maps I found are like literally shots stitched together to map out everything, every cavern, every level. See, and it like points out where each one goes to. I also don't like the fact that you need to find keys in order to open the door to fight the boss. That was a new addition to that too.
Yeah, I think that I was like, come on. Yeah, no, I didn't like that. See, Gene said exactly. That's what Gene said. He didn't like Outzone and FX Fight. That Metal Dragon wasn't as good, or same with like I know Gene said it was like a cheap version of Commando. But what I liked about it is you have a life bar. Even though I'm at a boss and I'm frustrated at a boss, I liked it that you don't die in one hit. It was kind of different, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see what comes in next year. As long as the SNK carts work. Oh my god. But no, that's my 4th or 5th cart. But I feel. But otherwise, no. When I play Toplin 4, I mean, both of those collections, 3 and 4, were really good. And I can't say like good enough stuff about it. I just hope next year. I'm thinking now, since next year, pretty sure we're gonna get an Alpha MVS, that they space it out.
I don't know. I don't think that's a sure thing. I think it really depends on how. I mean, if the alphas haven't sold that well, why would they put out another one?
Because
because the people that have already bought, that were already interested in the alphas and have bought one, are they gonna want to buy another one just because it says Neo Geo on it?
Only collectors, but no, they're gonna be pissed. It's funny because like I don't want to say every time somebody comments on Evercade or new hardware, people say no new hardware next year. So it's just kind of funny, like kind of for that reason.
There will be new hardware every year.
Yeah. But it shouldn't take. They shouldn't have to spend any time with R&D because they're just going to be reskins. You know, get another one for sure.
Why bother making them if hardly anybody's going to buy them? I mean,
I wonder the number. See, I don't know. I wonder the numbers. I definitely Neo Geo MVSs I think would outsell like Mega Man's and Street Fighter 2s for sure.
See, my dilemma is I'd rather have the Neo Geo one, but I don't think I would. If I were to buy one, I'd probably sell the one I have now because I don't need more than one.
Yeah, but you'd have a better chance of selling yours because you have the special edition.
Yeah, but I don't think that there's that much more. Like, I don't think the people buying it secondhand would care all that much that it would have Sanwa buttons or, you know, extra marquees. Like, I hardly even care that it has some extra marquees because I'm not going to be switching the marquee every time I play a different game, you know?
Yeah. No, but like for a collector, right? Like they have to have it.
If it's a collector, they probably would have already bought it.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Really? No. No, I think not near. No, I think SNK has. When it comes to arcade stuff, no, SNK has more selling power. Definitely. because the Neo Geo is one of like the elusive systems like a lot of us wanted as kids, right? Like Capcom has done like so many different things, and Capcom is awesome, but the brand name Neo Geo will attract more arcade, will attract like more arcade folks, and all and all that. Hey, Archaic Gig, long time no see. Yeah, thank you. That's Mega Man 1 is really weird. Not even real Mega Man games. No, that's I feel like that, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I know they're arcade games, but they're arcade games I never seen in an arcade, so it still looks
Yeah.
weird.
Well, but yeah, a vertical alpha. So, and I kind of said this before. My whole thought, like, the reason I didn't like the Street Fighter one is I felt like you got like 3 games. You got like because you're like for me at least, I'm not going to want to play Alpha 1 and 2. I'd rather play 3 because it has like the fuller roster, unless someone has nostalgia for it. And then yeah, I guess what they have also Champion Edition, but and then you can play Puzzle Fighter. Like it only really feels like there's a couple of games on there. And then the Mega Man ones, we get Strider and Final Fight, and then yeah, you get the other weird Mega Man ones that are like really easy, and you probably won't play. At least I know I wouldn't play them again. So
I mean, honestly, I don't think the having a Tate screen on it would be that big of a deal, because most of the games are in 4:3 aspect ratio anyway, you know? And when you do play a Tate mode game, it's not the same as playing it like on a 16:9 display. It's a 4:9 display. So you do get the bars on the side, but it's not as much as you would get on a 16:9 display.
yeah. No, even playing like the EXP and Tate mode with the bars isn't too bad, and you get the grip. But yeah, that's why like I think I kind of felt like that with the original with the original Evercade Alpha that they just used like the name branding to kind of sell it. I didn't feel like the quality was there. 1 through 3 is awesome. Yeah, and there may be some folks definitely that like that, but for me, like compared to something like what could have been, I thought that the roster of games were weak and low in quantity. But for those of you who like it, I mean that's awesome. I won't take away from someone else's enjoyment, but it's just like
Well, I mean, if they were doing a Street Fighter themed one, it makes sense to me that most of the games would be Street Fighter, you know? Actually, all the games are Street Fighter themed. It's just that one of them just happens to not be a fighting game.
Yeah. And they're probably limited on the number they could have for licenses and all that. But yeah, I mean like
solve this problem by just putting those games on cartridges, you know?
Exactly. Well, that's why I asked Sean, and he said that they needed a brand name to sell the Evercade. I don't know. I agree. I think it would have still been better. To put they could have. I don't. It'd be weird maybe to license the marquees. I don't know. But yeah, if we had all this stuff on cartridges, that's kind of the other thing that really sucks. It's the best screen for the devices. Well, yeah. I mean, it's a bigger screen. I mean. If you're comparing it
quality-wise, it is an IPS screen, so it is just as vivid as like the EXP screen.
Yeah.
Plus, it's just bigger.
Yeah, it's bigger. Yeah, exactly. But although for me, like I think that the EXP screen is big enough, like it's fine. I mean, yes, is it nice to maybe have bigger screens, but it's not. I don't necessarily know if it's mandatory, But yeah, the Neo Geo would be huge because okay, here's why I think that the XP is dull. No, not even. Those are lies, RMGB TV. It's not dull and washed out. I don't know if you're trolling me. But here's why I'll explain, at least for me, and maybe why some people can relate to why like an SNK Alpha would be more nostalgia. Like again, for me, like even like the arcade 1-ups don't really capture the arcade experience because there's just like a certain like magicness that it's difficult to bring home, and like the quality of these devices, it's difficult to bring that home at an affordable price, right? But the Neo Geo, you swapped in carts, it's an Alpha, there would be like a nostalgic thing in that. That wouldn't still necessarily capture the arcade experience for me, but it would still capture the nostalgia. So
well, it'd still be tiny, but you'd have to change the controller layout. You'd have to have the 4 buttons in a row. That would, well, I don't know. It's like really nothing is going to completely recapture your experience from playing these games in the arcades originally. There's always going to be something that's not right, you know? Even if you were to buy a full-size Neo Geo arcade cabinet and, you know, we had your 4 slots and you switched in and out the cartridges, it still wouldn't be the same because you'd be playing at home instead of out in public, you know?
Yeah. There's that. There's definitely that. An EXPLR. No, I don't like. I think if they were going to do that, they would do that now. I think there was a time for them to like sell like an Evercade handheld with a bigger screen. I think it would just be too expensive.
No, they should just come out with what they did with the Game Boy and come out with a giant magnifying glass you put over it, so you make the screen bigger.
You know what? That's like what I thought like Hyper Mega Check was going to be, and people would buy those as like a joke. I would probably buy one of those as a joke if they did that. You know what I mean?
I can't remember that ever being useful. Like, yeah, I want the screen to be bigger and more distorted.
Yeah, the light bulb. I had that, but no, it still kind of sucked. It was definitely a gimmick. Love home console experience. You get to keep your quarters. Yeah, no, that's always a cool thing.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. Sorry, but like in the arcade, you're actually using your money. You know, you've got stakes every time you play. If you have it at home, and you've got no monetary. No risk to how much money you're actually playing while you're playing it. That's the thing too. It's like even the pinball machine I have at home here, and when I'm playing it, if I were actually putting in money, no matter how bad I was doing, I'd still keep going. Whereas at home, my first ball wasn't very good. I'm just gonna turn the machine off and turn it on again and start again from the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why sometimes I'm conflicted about some arcade games. I do like being able to chill and like play through or beat 'em up or shoot 'em up, but then I like something like Tiger Heli where it's just like 3 lives and you're done, and all that. And then you can use save states, so you just jam quarters in your VS. So yeah, it just kind of depends on what experience you want.
That's an interesting way to save money though. You have a little jar, and every time you want to play a game, you throw a quarter in it. You know. And count how much you have at the end of the week, put it in your savings account, you know?
That's funny. No, that was kind of like a consideration of mine when I got like a Super Nintendo back in the day, because I'm like, dude, I can play Street Fighter at home, I can play with my friends, we don't have to use any quarters, and we can play it like as much as we want. So yeah,
yep.
It was definitely cool, and you could like put in other games and other stuff there. An arcade jar. Yeah. But definitely, I just think with something like Neo Geo Blaze they're going to fully utilize the license. And so it's like, yes, the alphas that come out, the super pockets that come out, the rebranding of the home consoles, it's like, you don't have to buy any of those. You can just get the carts. So that's why like I don't mind morally. That's why I don't mind that as much, because I'm kind of in that same boat where I don't feel like I want to be forced to buy hardware just to play Evercade games.
Well, yeah, I mean, even if they came out with this Neo Geo Alpha, they came out with cartridges, but then they came out with this Neo Geo Alpha, and there were games on it that weren't on the cartridges, I still wouldn't buy it, because it's like, well, I could still play those games somewhere else too. You know, locking them away on the Alpha isn't going to be incentive for me to buy an Alpha.
Yeah. No, fair point. You know what? Because like right now, like on Steam, you can buy like the Neo Geo Pocket collections for $6.99 each, which normally like the first Neo Geo Pocket collection sells for $40 freaking dollars. Which is
actually, you reminded me they're in my cart right now. I haven't bought them yet.
But there's a reason why I won't buy them, because there's maybe like 100 games. Like, dude, on EMU Deck, you can load it like it's you can just play all the games anyways.
Yes, but there's actually a bit more to those collections. Like, you get all the boxes, all the manuals, and everything in a digital representation. So there's a little bit more to it than just the game. Also, like the I don't know if you played it, because I had them on the Switch, and you could actually, I don't know what it's like in EMU Deck if you could change the scan lines or whatever, but they actually do a really good representation of like you could switch it to where it's like it's not scan lines, but like the pixels you could see the individual ones. It looks really
Oh,
good, and I was buying it. I was going to buy it because I thought it would be something really cool to play in a Steam Deck, you know.
yeah, yeah.
And that's not like I wouldn't. It's not. It wouldn't be like the first collection like that I would have bought. Like bought the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection. Yeah, you could play all those games through emulation. In fact, that's how they're being played through that collection probably. But
Yes.
it does. Just to have it officially, that too. Like you got
So
the
that I understand.
Capcom Stadium, and
Yes. So that I understand if it's cheap enough, but like for me, I don't care about like the digital goodies because they're digital as much. So, but well, like the other thing too that concerns me with that collection is when I play Neo Geo Pocket games, I don't want to have like the frame of the Neo Geo behind it on the smaller screen. I want it to
oh,
be a 4:3.
you don't have to have that. You could turn that off too.
Change it, yeah.
Yeah, you turn it off. You could zoom the screen
Yeah.
in all the way. You don't. Yeah.
But having it legit, yes, it's like I'm like the Contra collection. Yeah, I paid like $3 or $4 for that. Like, yeah, having it like legit. Hey, Papa Brad. It's so like it's not that it's a taboo topic. There just has to be a good reason to talk about the EverSD.
Well, I was
It's
listening to a podcast the other day, and one of the good things with that too is you could actually use it to back up your cartridges.
yeah,
But
that would be tedious.
on the downside, though, you do have to, in order to use it, you do have to have a special firmware update
Yes.
that from them, and you can't use, and then you can't upgrade your firmware on your Evercade unless they upgrade it too. Honestly, I was going to the software. I wanted to put it on one of my Evercade VSs because I wanted to have an Evercade VS where I could actually put in the Namco cartridges and play them if I wanted to.
That would be
But
cool.
I couldn't get it to work for some reason. I didn't. I was having issues getting that installed, but I just kind of gave up a little after a little bit.
Yeah,
and
see,
I
that's
haven't really tried it again.
that's my issue. Like I couldn't imagine like ripping all the games would just to get that set up how you have like with the box art and all that. Unless somebody has just put out there like in the
Oh
archive.
no, it's so easy. It's easier than you think. You basically, they even had it for like the NES Classic Edition and the Super Nintendo one. But it's basically a program that you have, and it knows what ROM it is, and it automatically just downloads all the artwork.
Oh, okay. Then that would be a little different. But then again, it's something like with the EMU deck, like on Steam Deck, like I could just have
Well,
it
it's exactly like EMU Deck, where you scrape it and it just downloads everything automatically.
Yeah. So here's the problem, Greg. And no offense to you, but it drives me nuts when people use this comparison. Oh, you're having issues with Evercade carts using EverSD. Well, no, the whole point of the Evercade is to have officially, at least for me, is to have officially licensed media, right? Like, for me, if you're going to use Evercade as just an emulation device, I think that's dumb personally because there's so many better options out there. So,
well, yeah, that's why every time I think about getting the EverSD, I'm thinking, well, that's kind of pointless because if I buy another device, I don't even need an adapter.
Yes, thank you, Gene. Exactly. It's more of like having to wait. Exactly, it's pointless. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if I honestly felt that way, I would never buy any Evercade carts, and I would just be happy with emulating everything on my Steam Deck.
But as I said before, the advantage I didn't think about was it's a way to back up your cartridges.
Yeah.
Especially if you were having problems with carts being bricking or having issues with it, you'd be able to restore it.
See, I wonder. See that would kind of be interesting. Like if there was like a backup and restore back to your legit carts, that would maybe interesting.
I think that's what I was listening to the podcast. I think that's what they were talking about. He had the EverSD that allows him to restore his cartridges if they brick.
Okay, maybe that's what Greg is trying to having difficulty articulating.
The downside is you still have to have that special firmware that they're providing.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, like you shouldn't have to do that. Like that's you know what I mean. Like you You really shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, you
Like
shouldn't have
that's
to do that, but the only reason I can do it is because I've made my own adapter and I can do it through my PC.
see, I would rather do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. For older out of warranty carts. Yeah, like I guess maybe that would be the consideration. But then the problem is, I feel like then you need to have like another VS though. To your point, Crow, because then you have to have a specific firmware.
Yes, I guess that's true. You would, but here's the thing: is I already have 3 VSs.
Yeah, there you go. I guess like it says, dude, you need to like you need to learn how to like type. I'm sorry. With EverSD, can't you just the game? Then if the card breaks, you can't just put back.
With
I think you're repeating
EverSD, can't you just get? Can't you? Let me just. If I sometimes I read stuff without reading all the words. With EverSD, can't you just get the game? Then, if the cart bricks, can't you just put the game back on the original cart? Yes, that is what I think you can do. Yeah.
Or you can attempt to. Like, I don't think it's necessarily a guaranteed thing.
Yeah, it doesn't work 100% of the time from what I've heard, but most of the time it will work.
Yeah, is iffy. So here would be the one reason that like I could justify getting it, and I would hope I would never have to. It would be like, let's say the Technos 1 borked. Then you're like, okay, well, getting an EXPR would be cheaper to try to restore it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that the guy you're talking about, I think that was the guy that was on the podcast I was just listening to. And when I say I was just listening to it, it's not a recent podcast. I'm just way behind on podcasts. I don't remember who it was, but they do offer the service through Facebook. He doesn't charge anything. I guess it would just be the cost of shipping the cartridge to him. And,
yeah.
Yeah. And he said in the podcast, at least, that somebody had 6 carts, and he was able to fix 4 out of 6 of them, if I'm remembering correctly. So maybe that's better than fixing 4 of them is better than just having all 6 of them not work.
Yeah. If the cart isn't fully bricked, though, you probably that's the thing. Well, and like I'm gonna say, knock on wood, when I get my carts, at least for me, like they fail pretty much like right away. Like if they work, like if they work, they work. If they don't, then they don't. They usually brick within a few play sessions. So, and it's kind of like, but like when they're under warrant, like kind of what Gene said, when they're under warrant, when they're under warrant. But here's the thing, though, let's say if you had an EverSD and you have a cart that's bricked, wouldn't you rather just send that back to the manufacturer and get another one replaced and know that it's working? Like, how do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard. I would rather just get it replaced for like a new one.
Yeah, you do have that option too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, what if you run into problems like they say, "Oh, it's not under warranty. We won't replace it." Blah blah blah.
Exactly. Then Force Flash. That's only if there's an update. Now, what Blaze could do, and I kind of was hoping they would have done this with the VS. I kind of wish that they would have all that stuff online. And if you had a bricked cart, I wish it would just like if you put in a cart and it couldn't play, I wish it would automatically download the image.
Yes, actually, that came up in the podcast I was listening to, but I'm thinking that there may be a legal issue with doing that, like sending the cart over the internet may not be allowed,
Yeah.
Because that'd kind of be the same as a digital download.
Kind of. If they didn't have it built in if it was just you put in the cart, it recognizes a signature, and if it can't play, then it could say, "Hey, would you like to attempt to restore this cart?" And then it would. It's like you couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think, but there's always a chance though that it can't identify the cart. But I did think of that. We know what cart it is. Can we restore the cart? But again, you'd be sending the entire contents of the cart over the internet. And that kind of thing may not legally be possible,
There's some vendors may not like it, but it's kind of like, but if you own it, like I wouldn't see that being the same thing as buying a game on Steam and
if you're buying it on if you have the license to release like games on a physical cartridge, you don't necessarily have the right to distribute it digitally.
I see from that stand. Yeah, it's tricky. It's a real gray area because you're not just like downloading it to take to something else. You're downloading it back to physical, but I
But
can see how.
they're still providing it over the internet, and I think that might be the issue.
Yeah. Or if it was even something like you could you could just like contact support and they could just say, hey, go in here, type in this code in the secret menu. You're going to connect.
It doesn't matter how it is. Just the act of doing it may be the issue.
Yeah. But yeah, I did think that was kind of weird that like they didn't use like a Linux OS like for everything, or a Linux file system on their carts. That I thought was strange from the beginning. But,
well, Linux, yeah, it can read just about any file structure. So some of them, I noticed that the games that do have native games on it, those are always Linux formatted.
yes, yeah.
But if it's just ROMs, usually it's not.
Yeah, for me, it's just more of a hassle because I'll make a video because usually when you have like defective stuff like that, they just want video proofs. You just make a video, show you put in a working cart, and then show another one doesn't work, and then I'll show several, and then I'll show it like in several devices because some people might be like, "We'll try it," and and then it's like, okay, we know the cart has worked. We'll send you out another one. And all that. So yeah, that's where I'm conflicted because I want to defend Blaze, but then when it happens to you, it really sucks. and not that I know that it'll fix it. I was just like, it's just like it's not a way to start off a stream, and that was kind of bummed me out. And I was like having to but I didn't want to when you watch somebody stream, you don't want to. At least I wouldn't want to see somebody bummed out. So I was just like, ugh. So I could see an EverSD for something like that. Although, if so let's say if Crow were if he were to sell his devices, like it would be like in a little box, and I would rather buy that than buy like an EverSD because that would be for me that would be like more functional. But that's just I'd rather something I could plug into a computer and then copy, and then you could grab the artwork. Then I wouldn't have to modify a VS and all that. Again, it just sounds like too much trouble that you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to do that for a device that's supposed to be like plug and play, right?
Yeah. But again, because we have these cartridges that are rewritable, it's a possible issue you could run into.
It is. It's mad. Yeah, no, 100%. Like that. This really shouldn't be a problem. Like I don't care how Blaze what magic sauce.
I mean, it is possible they could get around this by making a portion of the cart non-writable. They could do that.
That's what I thought they did. That's what I honestly, when I first got into Evercade, I thought that maybe like the games run a ROM chip, and like there was like the SD card part.
I think it might be because if they're fixing a game or patching a game, they are actually replacing the ROM on the cart.
Yeah. Crow sells his collection. That's crazy. What?
You know what? It is not crazy. You know why it's not so crazy? I haven't mentioned this yet, but I actually sold 2 of my pinball machines this week.
Ooh, that's awesome. It's awesome. No, it's like no. I hear like if somebody were to walk in here and you would give me a crazy number and they were like, I want to buy your whole Evercade collection, I would probably sell it. I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if somebody offered me $10,000, sure, take everything Evercade I own. I don't care.
Exactly. That's kind of what I'm saying. And then at that point, do you buy it back or you just like, I don't,
No, I'd buy a pinball machine.
My wife would go, Ed, go ahead and sell that. You could. Isn't there other things you can do on your YouTube channel? Just go ahead and So that's yeah.
You change the channel name to the Evercade Regret.
That's funny. No, I've even thought about I don't know if I would at some day if let's say the company doesn't still do stuff. I don't know if I would still keep that. How bummed were you I guess, yeah.
You know what's funny is I didn't even know there was an outage until I got an email this morning saying it was fixed because I haven't turned it on in a while. Honestly, I'm trying to sell like the one at Games Legends pinball, the original one, and since I've already factory reset it, I'm not connecting it to the internet. So that was the only thing I was turning on and testing out. And it's because I had somebody coming over to buy it, and so I put it back together, and I couldn't get it working, and I had to tell them I can't get it working. And then like a couple days later, I figured out what the issue was. I kept plugging in one of the cables in upside down without even realizing it. I just naturally thought it would go in a certain way, and then I couldn't believe it.
No, funny. You would think, no, funny that you mentioned that, because like in my previous job when I was in tech support a long time ago, and people had like computers that would connect to like SAS storage devices, you could plug in those cables like upside down.
Well, it was a ribbon cable, so it's the one that you slide it in and clip it down. I just always thought the pins go against the board, so I was always plugging it in against the board, clicking it down, until I realized when I was messing around with it that the pins need to be facing away from the board when you plug it in, which doesn't make sense to me, but that's how it works.
Yeah, the Steamcade effect, the retro. Yeah, no. Listen, the thing that I like again, I like about Evercade, it's just like you don't even really have to think. You just order the carts. They show up when they do. You play them. You get a curated collection. Jesus said with your laugh scream level there. Yep. Agreed.
It kind of reminded me of I don't know if you've seen the Saturday Night Live skit, which with Shirani. Ah!
No, it's no, I know I can be loud for things. Actually, like my brother-in-law said over the night. He was like, dude, he's like, I heard you screaming last night because this morning out because I don't know when my wife talking, they're loud as hell. I was like, so different levels of loudness for everybody is what I'm trying to say. I don't think she can hear me say that in the other room, and she never watches my channel, which is probably for the better. So, anyways, she knows about like my weird like goofy side, but she just doesn't want to. But like just doesn't want to just doesn't like want to know. But yeah, I will say that in this day and age, it is cool all the different options that we have for retro gaming. For sure, and kind of like what you're going back, like earlier, Corey saying about like getting something official. It is kind of nice. I do admit, well, because kind of like on my Steam Deck, like I like to actually play like real games over emulated one. I know that kind of sounds funny, but like and so, but however, what I've learned though on my Steam Deck, it doesn't have to necessarily be like Steam games. One thing you should check. What I mean by that, it's funny. Get with Decky Loader, check out the Junk Store add-on, because like the free version, you can load all your Epic Store games like while you're still in game mode. Like you don't have to go into desktop mode and dick around with anything, and it like makes it into the interface. You just don't have the Steam stuff at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm not doing. I'm not. I don't really have anything in the Epic's game store. I do, but it's nothing I don't already have in Steam, and I don't really go logging in for those free games because I don't really.
I do, and for good old gaming for $6, you can also add like good old gaming. So it's kind of neat. You can do that. I've seen like or you could boot to like those Botticera images and all that. Now that you can actually change the default image, but I haven't really done anything like that at Games Pinball. 4K, 4K. People want 4K. You like the alpha? No, I mean, for those who like want that, I think it's just like it's okay. So it's interesting. Like it's interesting, right? Like I don't know if those of you like it's like Retro Ralph, because he's a great example of a YouTuber where there's been like evolution from different products. Like he started off with like arcade 1-ups and like modifying them, and then like after a while he's like then he kind of moved on to like pinball. Not yet. No, then he moved on to real arcade machines. And then from that, then he kind of moved into the space of, like those like custom, like really custom made expensive like multicades. And then he's kind of moved on to like real pinball machines, which again, like all really expensive stuff. But it just kind of like, that's kind of like the high end of, of what.
Well, believe it or not, there's actually a higher end after that too.
What, like after like owning like polycade, like after, so wait, there's like the, well, I'm talking about like the cus, like you pay like 5 to 10 grand for like a custom, you know, that has like light guns and spinny
Oh
balls.
yeah, you could go higher than that.
Like what,
That
like VR
it's
or
well, it's there are bigger machines that cost maybe twice as much as those things that you don't really ever see. They're more of a they're more. I mean, even pinball machines, arcade machines, they're really more for commercial use. But these,
okay, yeah,
we're talking like things that are like $25,000 or more. Like if you were to go to, I don't know if you have like a round one or something. We're talking into like having your own personal bowling alley, you know.
oh, oh, okay, yeah, I see what you're
But some
saying.
of those redemption machines cost way more than any pinball machine would.
Oh, I bet, yeah, and there probably is somebody that would have those in their home, although I would think that would be weird.
Oh yeah, they would. There's people that have their own bowling lanes in their house. Yeah.
Bowling, yes, but like ticket machines would be that would be weird. But I could see somebody setting it up and having their own like prize thing.
Yeah.
Again,
I mean, Arcade One Up. I don't know if they actually released it or not, but they came out with a claw machine.
yeah. Now, what I think would be fun, let's say if you were like a rich bastard, it kind of could be fun to have that set up and then have people over and let them like do free play and like pick out something. Like that could be kind of cool. Like I could see that, or if you had like grandkids or something, and yeah, that I can see. Oh, you're thinking like the Epics double takes, like the Epic store. But okay, so since we did, but there is a catch 22 though for playing. I'll say like games you get for free, and that like Brotato, been playing the hell of that, love that game. Well, now they've come out with they have like a DLC for it. So then it's like, if I buy the DLC, it has to be the Epic's game store, unless right now it's on sale for like $5.50 with the game and the DLC. Like I would have to rebuy it again if I wanted to keep it in the Steam ecosystem. So,
yeah.
Metroidvania.
It's funny because it's technically on the same system. It's just on a different platform.
Fist. A great side screen. Have you played that?
Fist, huh? I never heard of it, but now I'm curious.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to do a quick search. FIS. I'm glad I have like the adult filter turned off. Because,
forged in Shadow Torch. Oh wait, what?
That's a soundtrack. Yeah, I know. I saw that too. I was like, who?
No, that's a soundtrack that came up, but there is a game.
Okay, yeah.
Metroidvania platformer action steampunk.
Huh. And
This
there's like
looks
a bear
very weird.
talking. Yeah, I know.
It looks. It's not the type of graphic that I would expect to see from a game like.
It's too 3D for me. Yeah, interesting though. But... Oh, is that the Metroid with hares? Okay, maybe he meant like rabbits like hares. Yeah, that's cool though. You have it on Switch. JR did a video on it. Gotcha. It looks like a furry version of Metroid. Yeah, buddy. It was a pointless purchase. Play Metroid. It depends on the game. Life on Mars is a cool Metroidvania. I was enjoying that. Although sometimes I just get to a point where when I get tired, I'm like, okay, I have to think too much. Let me just try to do something like Brotato.
I've had that game forever, and I still haven't played it.
The thing, I love about that, so kind of like Vampire Survivors, like you said, like it doesn't really matter who you start with. It's just like what do you want your starting weapon to be? What do you want to look like? Like some characters have some bonuses, and then like 20 minutes till dawn. That's kind of like an in between. Like that one, you only have one weapon. You pick it from the beginning, and you pick your character, but you have but you can like kind of like change up your special abilities. Rotato is just kind of like. I kind of think of Brotato as like kind of like picking a class in D&D. I kind of feel like you've got like bonuses and minuses, and you have to build your character like a certain way where you start off weaker at first, but then you can become more powerful. Like you can like the one I love is the brawler, which you can only use fists, but you get bonuses to dodge and you attack 50% faster. And in that game, like whatever your dodge percentage is, like you can't get hit and all that. So it's like if 60% dodge, which is the max for that class, like 60% of the hits will just go right by you. So it's kind of interesting. Otherwise, you can have up to like 6 weapons and you can get all kinds of crazy like, but it doesn't have like the intriguing unlocks and like all the coolness that Vampire Survivors have. You don't have like the awesome built out levels and like the 50 million, so it's very different. And I never bought it because it was always like my $5 reserve game. Kind of what I mean by that. It's like, hey, I'm totally bored. I have nothing to play. I'll spend $5 on it. But I never did, and then I got it there for free, and I was like, holy crap. So that's where I'm kind of at.
I take that back. I thought I had it, but I don't. It's on my wish list, and I never bought it.
Yeah, it's funny because I don't know, like, I don't see anything like, okay, there was only one game that I did consider getting. UFO 50 should be more on sale, but I got that gifted to me. So I can't see anything that I'd want to get on the Steam sale. If I'm being totally honest.
Well, if I add Brotato, I've already added in Balls of Steel, Just Shapes and Beats, Geometry Survivor. I've got both Neo Geo Pocket color selections in there. I have Pinball Spire in there, but I don't know if I'm actually going to buy that because it's only 20% off.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, I really like. For me, oh my god, Halls of Torment. Oh my god, yes, Halls of Torment is another awesome one. So I'll tell you what will be a day one purchase, and I've been saving some Steam cash for this. That I'm hoping the Slay the Spire 2 early access. I'm hoping that would be like, like January 1st that would go live. Like that, I don't know. That's kind of a dangerous purchase for me because I play that game way too much. Like I have over 1,000 hours in that game, I think, or over 600. I don't know. I've got too many hours in that game. But I love like Slay the Spire. But yeah, like Halls of Torment's great. I played the hell out of that, and even though they've unlocked other levels, but like the Vampire Survivors just has a unique gimmick to have you come back for more. 20 minutes till dawn, but again, that's another one I have for free. So it's like, damn it. But yeah, I like to. I know this is an Evercade podcast, but gg.deals.com. Use that for like finding everything, and then not only that, do you use? There's a plugin. There's like an awesome, like what the hell is it? An extension that I always. You can't use it in the Steam web browser, but like, do you? It's augmented Steam. I don't know if any of you guys use that. It's an add-on. Here, let me show you all this real quick. You can't use it in the. Yeah, we're past the hour mark. We can. You can't use it. You can't use it in the initial Steam browser, but it's an extension that you install, and what it does, it provides you data like this. Like it'll say current best low. It's cheap. So like here, Steam is selling it. It's like, okay, you can buy this. That's your current best matches. I wish you could do it through the actual Steam client, but. And it'll even say like you can buy this on Fanatical.
There we go. I have a box copy of Hollow Knight.
Damn.
For PC.
How old is that?
I don't remember. It's pretty old.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm sure that's just strictly like for collectability. Unless it came with the Steam key on it, then that would kind of be.
No, cool. It came with a Steam key. Came with a Steam key and the game on a disc. And a couple other things, which I don't remember what's in here.
Look, so, it is free on the Epic Store. Yeah. See, that is kind of neat. So you can have like a version of it. But here's the thing that my life matters.
Not this thing, whatever this is.
What the hell is that?
It's like the critter, I guess.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though, with the Epic Store, with games that have DLC, that you got to be careful. Kind of what I was saying about Rotato, it's a trap because the game is free, but there's so much DLC for it. Then, like, it's kind of like Epic knows you're going to end up like buying all the DLC there. That's the only thing.
Well, that's like what like Pinball FX is. It's like the game is free, but like only 3 of the tables are free. Everything else you have to pay for.
But yeah. But yeah, UFO 50. Oh my god, we need so here let me I'll show you this. When I think
UFO 50.
No, but there's a certain thing that I want them to do to not only just have it be on physical media, but let me show you all this real quick. If they also like they did with Glover, how they made enhancements to it to make it a special Evercade edition. Let me show you. Let me show you what I mean, and then for it to make more sense. Okay, I think we can do this. Wait. I think we can do this, and then which layout is it? There we go. Yeah, it's going to be enriched to card. So here's what I want to show you all. UFO 50. Again, thanks to Amber who gifted me this for Christmas on one of my lives. But okay, here's a cool. You'll see it when it starts up, and this would be awesome if they did this. So there's the dude standing here in the garage, right? But they made their own that's like their own fictional console. So when it booted up, if it showed if it said Evercade and it had the Evercade VS, right? And then what's neat when you go to the menu, wait, there's let me find it because there's you can put in codes. Hold on a second. No, I can't find it. But there's I swear to God, there's a secret menu but yeah, you have all these all these different games, and it starts off they say 1982, and then you go down to the last one, which is 89. But I'll show you one. Will show you one game in particular. You got that this game should belong on Indie Heroes. This is the Donut Dodo of Elgress of this game. I think you might like this, Crow. But okay, skip to the nonsense. So what you have to do, you have to keep jumping up, and if you have a double jump, if you hit the spikes, you die. And I've only gotten to the second level. These guys can touch you, you won't die, but you have to start all over. Shit. See if I can. But this has been my favorite game on it. It's like a. Do I dare say a better Pico? So now, I'm on the 11th floor. Let's see if I can get to the top. See? Dead. No, I'm dead. Game over. And you want to kill that guy to get a key. See, then you do game over. Shit. And look, now you start back at the beginning. And then you gotta, do this again. And then, yeah, you want to get, coins for power-ups and all that. But there's just, and then they have some cool kind of puzzle games and all that. But it would be neat though if they could make this interface and have it show in how Evercade how we have the box art and everything. I mean, hell, I would be happy with it just like this, but they could. And then of course you can see what you can look at. You can press other buttons. I didn't mean to do that.
You're kind of confusing me a bit. What do you mean do this on Evercade? What?
Imagine if they released this on an Evercade collection on a physical card.
You mean this game specifically?
Yes, UFO 50. And then when you would hover over, instead of showing these little thumbnails, if it would actually show full box art of each of the games. So you would boot it up and they would Evercade-ize it. Am I saying the right word? They would make it look, like an Evercade collection.
You're saying that they should have a cart that's called UFO 50 and say it's got 50 games in it.
Or split it, or do a collection 1 and 2. There we go. So yeah, you can go through here and you can find stuff. But there's a secret section spot which is really irritating me that I can't. Oh, terminal. So check this out. Yes, thank you. I wasn't freaking imagining this. If you go to terminal, you can put in codes, right? Just like the VS. I guess you got to like fully put in. Yeah. So imagine if they kind of made this more like, when it boots up, if they showed the VS or like, they could have showed where you could input codes. If they just like tailored it a little bit to Evercade. Actually, what happens if I put Evercade? E-R. C. I can only do, wait. No, I spelled it wrong. Shit. Hold on. It would just really fit. EVERCADE. Oh, I know I was gonna do anything, but it's this whole. It's like a fictional console that they made up with all these different like games and stuff. And so you can. I think normally it's like $24, but you can get. I think it's like 21. No, it's like 21. It should still have a bigger discount, but it's like a high quality.
I guess it is. I guess it is. It's $24.99. It's on sale now for $21.24.
Yeah, it should be half that, but the game is new. But it's really like high quality, like 8-bit game. It's like if Pico collections were better. I don't know, but like this would be something. I might have to do a video on this. Like this would be something awesome to have on Evercade. I think it would be really neat. Have like a physical copy and have like the booklet and all that. They probably would have to split it into two, and or maybe they would if they did this as a dual gigacart, whatever. But it's kind of been a thing that I've been playing along with like Brotato. So no, Vampire Survivors it was just free in Epic Store, but that they get you sucked in. And then they're going to want you to like buy all the DLC.
Honestly, the game is cheap enough that offering it for free is kind of like, what? What does it cost? Like $5, $10?
Yeah.
Like the DLC I know is super cheap.
They've got the best like indie game DLC model where like you really feel like you're getting a lot for your content. Actually, if we go to
right now, Vampire Survivors is $3.49. It's $5. It's $4.99, like full price.
Ooh. I put Vampire Hunters. I was like, hold on. I want to see what their bundle is. Vampire. What's their bundle with all the ooh, wow, you can get the Castlevania DLC too, is pretty cheap.
Yeah, if you were to buy it right now with all the DLC, it's $12.46, and that's because it's all on sale. But
yes, yeah.
Wait, no, I take that back. Because that doesn't include the game, so it would be $12.46 plus $3.49. So you're getting 5 expansion DLCs plus the soundtrack and the game, and it would be less than $20.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go.
The thing is, I just really don't like the Epic's game store. I try not to.
No, and that's kind of why I like that add-on, because it shields you. It shields you from that. Like you just kind of go into an interface and you download it. But the only issue that I ran into was it when I went to take an oil change a few days back. I went to play a game. It would blink for a second, and then it would kind of go. Then I remembered there's an option that you had to do to enable offline, and then it worked.
The only time I actually go into the Epic Game Store now is because they have their Pinball FX actually has tables that aren't in the Steam version of Pinball FX, because it's really weird. There's tables in Pinball M, and so Pinball M is like the M-rated version of Pinball FX. But then they have some tables that are in both Pinball FX and Pinball M, and the Pinball FX versions are like the sanitized versions of those tables. So like one of their most recent ones was Camp Bloodbrook. So they have that in Pinball FX on the Epic's Game Store, and I think on other platforms too. But it's like that table, but like all the blood removed from it. It's weird. So I only log into it to see what it looks like censored.
Yeah. You know what game is on sale that actually is a pretty decent that I may have to pick, that I may actually have to get because I've been talking about it. Here, let me share this. You'll know what I mean. Look, Cathedral. It's on sale for like $5.
Yeah, I actually already have that on Steam.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. They bundle it with Alice Awakening.
Yeah,
Interesting. Interesting. For like an extra buck, you could get Alice Awakening, huh? Because then I would start over. This was one of my favorite games that I ever played. I kid you not. Like I loved it. Like for modern indie gaming, like this game was so good, and it sucked so bad to lose my save and start over. But it was cool playing on a cart.
I don't think you were that far into the game.
I was like at the water town though. Like after you beat like that difficult mummy boss in the whole graveyard area, and
yeah, that mummy boss isn't that far in the game.
So I don't know. It's one of those things.
I think you might have been about halfway through, maybe.
I think I was at least.
Well, you know what? Let me check something because I wonder if I'm gonna look at my video footage. I wonder where, because I have in 2 parts on YouTube. So I'm wondering where that mummy boss is in that.
Oh, great! Yes, that is just for Steam. That is just for Steam. I mean, with the sales, you may be able to get it like in other PC platforms. I'm sure, like if you own like a Switch or whatever, it probably could be on sale here too. But that just kind of goes back to one of the big concerns, and that's from Blaze, which is quality control. Damn it, that's kind of the thing, right? Like obviously, man, I made this coffee too strong. I combined coffee with like pizza last night, and I got like hell of a heartburn. Anyways, but yeah, that is always a concern, is quality control, because you want to feel like a physical media that, like, as long as your house doesn't burn down, you have the thing you want to play it.
Oh yeah, the Pharaoh guy. Okay, yeah, that's in part 1, so that's not even halfway through the game.
Yeah, but I felt like I put like a lot of hours into it.
Okay, like in this video, it's about 7 hours into the video. So
okay, this is strong crypto coffee. I know I put more. I feel like I put like 20 hours in.
Well, obviously, if you were like, dying and replaying and dying and replaying,
yes,
it's probably more.
Yeah.
But since you've already played it, shouldn't take you that long to get back up to this place.
Yeah, I know, but then I'm like, maybe I should just play Shovel Knight though. But because I was actually surprised like how much the people that made that game, that's like a love letter to Shovel Knight. Like they took a lot from that. But yeah, no, and like any electronic thing you have, there's always like some chance of failure. I think it just sucks for the carts because of the right function. And maybe that's a trade-off. Maybe that's like the trade-off. I don't know. It still amazes me that you can when you can fix stuff. I know Rich has been able to fix things, but like, I don't know.
The funny thing, it's so funny you mention this because I was selling, like I said, I was having problems with that 8 Games Legends pinball. But then the very next day, somebody was going to come over to take a look at the hyperball that I had, and I was like, okay, let me pull it out and get it ready. And then I'm like, I couldn't find the key for the back box. Like I was like, where's the key? I can't find it. And I had to tell the guys, like, I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to have to drill out the key because I can't find the key. And then he's like, oh yeah, whatever you need to do. And then I was like, okay, and I went to test it. And then all of a sudden, like, the auger motor wasn't working. Like the motor that feeds the balls back up into the machine, making it kind of unplayable. And I'm like, what in the hell? Why is everything not working all of a sudden?
Yeah, exactly. No, I know with like arcades and pinball, like that's why like Retro Ralph would say like with like original arcades and things like that, like you could just like move it and then it could be working and then not move because something could be loose or.
That's exactly what happened. I moved it and then it stopped working.
Yeah. Yes.
And I spent all night trying to figure out what the problem was. I couldn't figure it out. And then the next morning I figured out what happened. It's weird. It was like a loose connection in the back box because I was unplugged the thing and then as I was pulling it back in, I heard it go back on and then it stopped. And I'm like, oh, so it only works if I plug it in halfway for whatever reason. Okay.
Yeah, weird stuff like this. Oh, you want to give everyone a hug in real life? That's awesome. But yeah, no, but that's what like, Yeah, he would say like you would move some. Well, that's why definitely with hobbies like that, it's like don't get original hardware for stuff if you don't want to like have to like fix things and stuff. Which might that part would maybe like drive me nuts. I do see the value, and there can be fun in that. I do like to do a certain amount of tinkering, like with the Steam Deck. I really do. Um, but yeah, no, it was just disappointing. I will say that when I did test it, like in the purple handle, there's something awesome. I love the feel of the like the OG Evercade. I don't know what it is, but I just if they like if Blaze could just re-release the OG handheld, but have the screen of the EXPR, that would be awesome. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what if it's a combination of pizza or if in a hurry I put too much in. Awesome. Yeah, because you know how to make coffee ballistic. I would,
never.
you know what though, and I'll put you on the spot, Ballistic Coffee Boy. If you have that name, I would expect you to make only like the best coffee, right? I think you would have to, right?
To tell you the truth,
Because
I never have those problems because I don't like coffee at all.
yeah. It's caffeine though, right? Like. So here's just because like at work we have like those like energy drinks with like caffeine, but like zero sugar. And there's even like Coke Zeros and things, which I will have those, and those will kind of work. But there's just like something about it that like I don't know, coffee kind of satisfies in a way that like those drinks don't. I don't know. You worked in coffee shops for 20 years, nice.
I wouldn't be able to go near one. Yeah, I can't go near coffee places at all. I don't like the smell that much.
I love the smell. No, like, but a guy I used to work with years ago. And I always feared like this would happen. He said like one day when he was like just at his desk, like his heart was like beating real fast, and he was actually starting to like go blind or whatever. And then after a while, he finally and what he found out though, no, it's because he was like drinking, like he stopped drinking coffee, and those problems went away. So I don't know what condition. Yeah, like that would suck. At least with caffeine or whatever, like that makes it so I can. I visited Buc-ee's. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Like if I'm driving it's almost like a requirement. If you see like, hey, there's a Buc-ee's, the next stop. I can hold my piss for 30 minutes. Yes, I'd rather go there. I do like a Buc-ee's. They let you mix like you can like for like a couple bucks. You can like mix all. You can like put all your own like creamers and stuff. They have. Yeah, Arrhythmia. Yeah, I think that sounds familiar. I think maybe that's what he had. That sounds familiar. Irregular heartbeat shit. Yes. Yeah. No, that would suck.
Yeah.
Although, God, anytime, like, being that you said that, and I thinking, like, Manos, the Hands of Fate, the scene where the girl holds the dog, and, like, his heartbeat's irregular. I don't know.
Well, that's because she's holding it right up to her head. It's weird.
Yes. Oh, my God. Yeah. Like, if, there was, like, I don't know, going off topic, but I'm sure you probably watched it or own it, like, there's like the special edition of Menace Hands of Fate. I don't know if it's 2 discs, but it shows like the makings behind it, like what people had. Which is like God, which is just like crazy. Anyways, going off into weird stuff, but just crazy. I think there was like one guy who was like still alive, like who was like part of the original crew from that whole. But yeah, what did they have to like? They could film. What was it like? 15 seconds at a time, like 30 seconds at a time, or something? Because like the camera.
Well, it was it was like 30 seconds at a time with no sound.
Yes. Yeah.
So everything was dubbed over after they filmed it by like 2 people. Like all the voices were done by like 2 or 3 people.
But anyway, yeah, I won't go far. Oh, you never had coffee till you went on holiday. Really? I love this. I hate to sound like an asshole, but if you quit caffeine, you don't need it anymore. Keep in mind this is coming from. No. I've kind of like heard that like if you could completely get like the reason like caffeine works because it's like otherwise without it you kind of feel like sluggish and it gives you that sudden jolt. I've heard that. I've heard that DF. And there have been part of me where I've thought about like trying to like quit or try to lessen, but I always get pulled back. I don't know. To me, I feel like with coffee or caffeine, it's like the wonder drug because it's like, it helps me be able to like function when I shouldn't. like if you're feeling crappy or you have like less sleep. You know what I mean? I don't know. But it could just be something all mental in my head. But not only, and that's not just the caffeine. I like the taste of coffee. I do like the bitterness.
Ugh.
It's
No,
an
that
acquired
sucks.
taste. I love creamer.
So wait, let
Yeah.
me get this straight. Do you only drink coffee when you feel like you need to, or you just automatically drink it every day?
I automatically drink it every day.
So you don't know whether or not you need it.
That's true. I will say, because I have been drinking it, like if I don't like if I don't have coffee in the morning, sometimes I have gotten like those headaches, or I felt like crap, and then I drink it. And it's like usually I need it like at certain like midpoints of the day. But yeah, if I were to quit like completely cold turkey, then maybe, or like wean myself off. I don't know. But I like coffee. The taste. Yeah, there was like that episode of like Star Trek Deep Space Nine where George Costanza was a guest. I forget what alien he played in. Like, he's like, Catherine Janeway is a coffee drinker, and he's like, "You actually like this?" She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "No." He's like, "You actually purposely drink it like that because it's bitter." I mean, I get it. It's just like beer is.
You said the way you said that, I'm thinking, was there a Star Trek Seinfeld crossover that I didn't know about?
No, that would have been awesome. No, just him. But you can, but like he can't. You can't unsee him as like George Costanza being an alien. You know, the actor Alex. Shit.
Jason Alexander.
Alexander. Yes. Yeah. Jason Alexander. That's probably what I should have said. But here's what's funny though, and this drives my wife nuts. I know people more by the characters that they play, because she'll be like, "Oh, you know this person as such and such from Breaking Bad," than their real names. Dude, I'm a Trekkie. In my earlier videos, it looked like crap, but I wouldn't take down my Federation of Planets like poster that was like behind there. But it didn't really fit, but I wouldn't take it down. Yes, I am. Yes, I am a Trekkie. I do like Star Wars. You can see by the collection, but I like Star Trek more. So both are cool. But yes, it's always funny when people are like amazed, amazed by it. But no, it is all good. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I'll get like Paramount Plus whenever like the next season or thing of Star Trek comes out with whatever they do. Star Trek can't stand Seinfeld. I don't like I'm not a huge fan of the comedian, but like the show. Doctor what? Actually, there was a point in time, like growing up, I remember like being into Doctor Who, watching Doctor Who like on PBS and like the local PBS. I haven't like watched Doctor Who in years. Probably something I should get back into, but I love a lot of things sci-fi and fantasy.
I kind of stopped watching. Like I went and when somebody showed me the first episode of like when it was revived in 2002, the Doctor Who, we watched the first couple episodes of that, and I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna watch this, I'm gonna watch it all the way back from the beginning. So I found like all the episodes I could, and I started watching it all from like 1963 onward. And all I can say is like, once we started getting to Peter Capaldi, the show started to unravel like a lot. And I kind of stopped watching it.
Yeah, I want to say, I think by British law on the Acorn app, they have to have every app. No, I'm kidding. But no, I know you could go back and watch, like, while we're on coffee. I love it. We have two people that have coffee in the name. I used to have 4 cups of coffee a day 17 years ago. I only had 1 cup a day, straight black. Put some MCT oil in it. Should do the job. I avoid energy drinks and sodas. Drink a lot. Yeah, no, I need to drink more water. I need to drink more than 2, but like I piss my brains out a lot. You know what I mean?
Or there's that Mystery Science Theater joke where it's Doctor Who, the hell cares?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like the others. Oh my god! So speaking of which, like, so we go back to MST3K. We were watching some of the MST3K marathon, and I'm trying. It was one of the newer ones, and it was that Crow. It was Crow's voice. I forget who they had doing it, but it like the voice didn't fit in the lines that they gave.
Are you talking? Was it like a newer episode with Joel? Or
yes,
yeah. That voice is kind of. I don't know who does that one, but like in the most recent season 13, they had like 3 sets of robots that were all voiced by different people. So like they were all different.
Yeah. I don't
and
know.
What was weird is with Joel is that Josh J. Elvis Weinstein was doing the voice of Tom Servo, and he was the original voice of Tom Servo before Kevin Murphy was doing it.
Yeah.
So that was very weird.
Yeah. But I was just gonna say, like, not only did the voice like not even fit, it was too goofy. They gave that actor bad lines. Like what they were saying wasn't even funny. It was just horrible. Like I could barely even watch it. I was like, what are they doing?
Yeah, it's not my favorite voice of him, but it's I just got over it.
Yeah, I will say, like, as far as like the arrows and stuff, like the different like my wife likes Joel, but I think they kind of do more old timey references. I like Mike better because I thought it was like a little bit more edgy, but
Well,
like
it was a different dynamic because Joel was
yeah.
the one that built the robots, but when Mike came on, they just treated him like he was the new guy.
Yes. Says you lose tons of water when you sleep. If you drink coffee right away before waking up, it dehydrates you more. Yeah. Then you won't rely on caffeine as much. Okay, maybe that's what is drinking more water. Now I will say I don't know if the Game Freak is here, but he like did a video a while back on he had like kidney stones removed because he wasn't drinking enough water. Kind of scared the shit out of me, and I'm like, I probably should drink more water. But God, though, it sucks having to like get up and pee every 5 seconds. It feels like, but yeah, I gotta get that figured out. Although I do look forward to Coke Zero every day for lunch, like when I'm at work. I don't know why, but like, because I kind of feel like it's a guilty pleasure. Like, yeah, maybe it's not as sweet as the original Coke, but it's good enough, and I don't have the calories. Although I don't know what the crap they put in to make it zero. That'll kill me. But you know what I mean.
Cola is another thing I never liked the taste of.
Yeah, we don't keep like. Yeah, sorry. Turn off stuff. Yeah, we don't keep like sodas. We almost cause, like if we get like a 3 liter of Coke, it'll be gone the next day. So we really don't like in this house keep much
For
of that stuff.
For quite a while, I would only drink Diet Cola. But eventually, I just kind of started to not like that either. So
Yeah, Coke Zero is so much better. But yeah,
if it tastes like Coke, I never liked the taste of original Coke at all.
really.
It is like the worst aftertaste.
Yeah, it's aspartame.
But no, well, not yeah. Is it aspartame in the original
I think so.
Coke? Or is that Diet?
No.
Coke?
Diet Coke. If you're talking about Diet Coke,
See, I like Diet Coke. For a
Oh,
while.
you didn't like it? Oh.
But I never liked original Coke.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Or original cola. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't have to be Coke. I didn't like original Pepsi or RC, Mr. Pibb. None of that
Well,
stuff.
Pepsi is different. Like Pepsi is like really sweet. That's like more like for kids. I think they do. Morley. No, we're getting like Slurpees or Ices. I like Dr. Pepper. Probably Dr. Pepper is like my second favorite cola. I was raised on Dr. Pepper and chocolate milk. Kids of the 80s. But no, it is interesting. Like nowadays, with like things like Evercade, like growing up, we never thought about like carts failing. Like losing battery saves, sure, but it was just kind of like you put in a cart and it just worked. Like or like I never knew anybody who had a cart that was bad. Like yes, maybe the Nintendo was bad, was faulty.
Well, you had to clean it. But what was funny was I remember like I had this friend and I went over to his house one day and he had cartridges that were broken and chunks of plastic were taken off of them and they still worked.
What? Yeah. What the hell was he doing to
I don't know how he did these to some of his cartridges. It was like okay, but popped it in, it still works, whatever.
That's amazing. And yes, I know Evercade carts are $20, but like you do want them to work. Like I think that would be the best thing that Blaze I think what they should focus on is redesign, like make, and actually they could still keep it. They wouldn't have to they could just the file system that has like the game, like make that read only. But I think what they need to do, and they started like move away from having actual card updates and have those updates be in the firmware of the Evercade, and that's how I kind of thought it originally.
Well, I think the only reason the way it would work maybe is if you had some extra. If you have to make sure you get extra space on the cartridge, and then you would have your read-only section be maybe like the factory reset of the cartridge. Like,
yes.
So just don't use that portion of the cartridge. Just use it to restore the cartridge if something goes wrong.
That would work too.
But if but I mean, if they're not able to have the space to do that, that
Like
would be
the-
a reason not to do that. Like for
Yeah,
Giga carts, for example,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just going to say. But like other carts, I kind of felt like they could do that. Yeah, and then that's like with the forced pass option, you could that would be neat. Like just have like a restore back, and because there are a lot of carts with it. But I kind of hope going forward they could kind of redesign and make that a little bit more.
It would be like a factory reset for your cartridge.
Yeah. You know what though? I think that if they, with the exception of PlayStation, I think if they did that and if they made all carts Giga carts going forward, I think I wouldn't mind paying an extra $5 for that, like knowing that there would be more space.
Well, again, there's some cartridges where that would just absolutely be a huge waste of space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine if they came up with another Atari 2600 cart. It's like got even if it had 100 games on it, you'd be wasting a ton of space if you put it on a cart.
I know. I think like the whole like Atari collection you could fit on a floppy disk, like ROMs. I know, like they hardly.
No, I think there's a lot out there. There is a lot out there. Let's see.
Like not like if you're not including duplicates. Otherwise, I think if you get everything, it might be like 5 or 10 megabytes. If you get like all the prototypes, every single version.
Well, how many? Do you know how much a floppy disk holds?
It's like 1.5. It's like 1.5 megs. Like
Yeah. So if it's 5 megs, it's already you can't fill.
I know. I know.
You're gonna fill a floppy. Yeah.
Yeah. Floppy disks. Yeah. Gosh. Which is funny. Some people, what's a floppy disk? it's when you don't want to have
icon. It was funny because you had the 5 1/4 floppy disks, and then when they came out with the 3.5 ones, they were hard, but they were still floppy.
Yeah. No, it's funny because honestly, back in time, my previous job, I've talked to people. I'm like, yeah, just click on the floppy icon to save. They're like, what's that? And I'm like, oh,
calls it the floppy. Call it the save icon.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, it's that thing in the upper. Oh, that. Oh, they didn't know what. I guess as a further time, they didn't know. New Caverns of Mario is great. Cool.
Yeah, I got. I guess there are duplicates in here, but like my Atari 2600 ROM folder is 10 megs.
But that includes like prototypes and different right?
Like actually, that includes like Starpath games too, which were on cassette.
Yeah. But to your point, though, still that would be like so much extra wasted space on a Giga cart. You could have that restore like 10 times on a Giga cart, like 10 partitions.
No, to be fair though, the biggest game here, Escape from the Mind Master, is still only 33K.
Wow. Yeah, that's. But no, like I guess if they're like if we're looking at the Evercade, like if we're looking at like the hardware and the structure, and not let's say talking about the games or the blue carts. Really, that would be like my number one complaint would be the stability of the like as far as like if I had one thing to complain about that makes me unhappy with the like hardware, that would like the stability of the carts. That would be like the one thing, right?
Well, yeah, and it's really the one thing that might just be unavoidable because it has to be they have to be able to read and write to it. And we've never really had a cartridge before that you were able to do that.
Although, if you think about the history of it, though, we haven't really had like a lot of updates for just carts. So that's that's something newer, like with the arcade carts and.
I don't know if you remember. No, they've updated carts before, and the big one was whatever the collection that Ronio.
Yes.
You didn't get the full game at first, and then it had to be patched later with the full game because they had to release the game before the game was done, I think.
Yes, or like instead of having a back, like I like the idea of just split the carts into 2 partitions, have all your ROMs and like your art and everything on a read-only partition, and then just have your save stages go to a write-only. But then you can't update the game. But I don't know. I kind of feel
what if they have like an issue with the art and they need to update the art?
Exactly. Yeah, and that's probably why they don't. But actually, no. You know what? That they do in the firmware, because if you like take the Namco 1 collection, put that like in the OG Evercade and then put that like in a newer EXP or VS, the firmware is like boxes are different. Like the box art's different. So they could do, but like they could do that in the firmware, but it's just, yeah, over time that's going to take up space on the actual console itself. And maybe that's, I mean, I know there's reasons, but it seems like it's an issue enough to where like when it doesn't happen to you, then you don't care. But then when it does, then it's like, it kind of sucks. And yeah, you can get it replaced and all and all that. And then you can also get on the rabbit hole like, well, 5 years from now, you know, my card's gonna, I don't know. My experience.
I just say it's exactly the same as an SD card. Like whatever the limitations and faults of an SD card are, that's the same thing as an Evercade card.
I'm not as concerned about the hardware. It's just more about the file system getting corrupted, right? And if this is
funny,
like,
I've experimented, and you could break things on a cartridge. Like you could break a game and still play the other games and just not be able to play that one game you broke. Sometimes I've modified it to the point to where like the one game just won't appear. Like,
yeah.
Because I was when I was messing around with the Atari Arcade 1, and I was actually trying to put Asteroids Deluxe on it instead of replacing it. I would have that just disappear from the cartridge, like.
Yeah.
I could never figure out how to do it. There's too many checks to make sure that specific ROM is being played.
Interesting, yeah. Like there's like some type of security or.
So I couldn't just swap out the ROM, even if I renamed it. It didn't work. It's just like, nope, this isn't the right ROM. I'm not going to play. Even if it was a different version of the same game, it wouldn't work.
Yeah. And I get that's like we're the EverSD, but like, yeah, it's like if I'm going that route, just give me an adapter that I can plug the carts, in, because then it's compatible with any firmware, and I don't have to like really worry about it at that point. But yeah, maybe it's something that can't be helped, and it's just like, yeah, and that's why I say test all your carts when you get them, and yeah, it just kind of a thing that just kind of sucks. But I guess that's the like. Maybe that's like the downside to physical media, right? Like you have to wait for something to finally get it shipped to you. Then when you get it, if it doesn't work, you have to like send it back. I think the only downside is, and to your point, like with your friend who like did whatever he got unspeakable access cards, like they still worked. You know.
Well, it's not just like Evercade though, because like I've had like from Limited Run, I got like a PS4 game. It's like I got the game. And I put the game in the console, and it pops up like the game. You can boot the game, and then if you go to boot the game won't boot. It's because they forgot to put the game on the disc.
Yeah, yeah. Did they?
So I had to have that replaced. Yeah, so you can't even just put the disc in to see if you have to actually go into the game, and before I even found out that it didn't work. You know.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I say like you can't just play the games. You need to write save states to make sure that.
And it was Arcade 1-Up too. With Arcade 1-Up, they had the one that was like the Rampage model, and it had Gauntlet on it. Now the version of Gauntlet they put on there was something wrong with the ROM, but you wouldn't know it unless you played 15 levels in.
Wow, that really sucks.
Yeah, because as soon as you get to that level or whatever, it was like all glitched out. And you couldn't play it anymore. And it really sucked because to prove to them that I had that version, I had to record like playing all the way up to that point just to prove that I had that version.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, I was gonna say. I wonder what proof that they would want. At least I'll say like, Video Games Plus. They're. As long as you're not like the only one thing that they won't do, they just won't give you your money back. And they even say that with pre-orders, which makes sense because it's like they need to have as long as they replace like for like. I'm good at that. Now the only other good thing is then you do at least get to keep some backup like cases, because every now and then they've gotten better quality, but sometimes you get one that clamshell that couldn't like close all the way, And so it's like, hey, I could just at least swap that out. And I've got a better clamshell. That's the only. And then they make good dust. They make good like dust covers, so like you could to put in your consoles, just to have like something in there if you don't want to put in a game, so you don't get
Well,
dust.
honestly, okay. Well, here's the thing: is like if you need like something to put a cartridge in there, and you don't want to use real cartridges, there is. You just go on Etsy, and you can find like covers for just about anything. Like for the Atari 2600, I got like a dust cover. Like it's just a little thing. You plug it over there, and honestly, I didn't even need to buy that anymore now because I can just 3D print one now. Like I can even 3D print a fake Evercade cartridge and plug that in. Like
Sure. No, if I had a 3D printer, I would do that. But being that I don't, it's just like.
But again, it's like if you're that worried about it and you don't want to spend that extra money or make it, you just leave a cartridge in it.
I do that too. I do that too. For me, it's more of a specific use case because when I'm streaming, it's like, I've done that. Like I've opened up and like, oh, the card isn't in here. Where is it? And then I have to find one of my 3 handhelds. For the 2600, you need one of those. Yeah.
I can't tell you. Like I was trying to collect games to see which ones to sell or not. My wife is really bad with that because I found a whole bunch for cases, no games. Where are the games? I don't know. I found games with no cases. It's like, where are the cases for these games?
Cases. Do
you? So, I don't want to sell, and I don't want to sell just the cases because what if I find the game?
Yeah. So actually, since we're with all the different ways like that we have, or that you have to play Atari, do you still play like the OG Atari or the 2600 plus, or do you just like find yourself playing it all on Steam?
No, I play the 20. I was playing. I don't know if you saw. I'm buying games from Atari. Like the videos I put up earlier this week. The only way I could, like, I have 7800 games, and since I don't have a real 7800, I have to play them on the 2600 plus.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I have the original 2600, but sometimes I only use that if I want to play on a CRT TV.
That makes sense. Yeah. No. I'm saying that's good because sometimes we can get devices and they can seem cool and then like they just gather dust.
Well, that's exactly what I'm kind of doing now. I was like, I need to go through my stuff. I'm gonna sell like literally everything that I'm not using or can't see myself using, and that's like I'm like probably gonna sell like every Switch game I have, PS4, PS3. I got so much stuff because I do this every so often, but like every time I do it, I go further and further in. Like I had like almost every single console you could think of at one point. Eventually sold it all. I still have a Sega Genesis for some reason. Even though I only have a handful of games for it, I probably saw all that. It's just. But the Switch, even though I still have that hooked up, I can't really see myself playing anything on it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, even though I just got, for some reason, I guess it was a reflex when Atari 50 had the extended edition.
Yeah.
I bought it on the Switch just to have a physical copy, and I'm like, I don't need a physical copy. I'm gonna sell it.
Yeah. I'm gonna say really like as far as like let's say you have a Steam Deck or you're like into the Steam, you're like you have a lot of PC.
Yeah,
games.
and I think it was because I got the Steam Deck. That's why I'm like changing my thoughts. I don't really need any of this stuff because I can play it on the Steam Deck.
The only one reason, and that's why it's like why Nintendo is made so much money and still in business today. It's for the exclusives. Like if you want to play Mario and Zelda, that would be the only reason. But if you're like, I don't necessarily care about that, or maybe I'll emulate it later on, then it's like
Well, I got Super Mario Wonder for Christmas last year. I haven't played it.
Yeah.
I don't really care if I'm gonna play it or not. So
I
have all those amiibos, and it's like I think I'm gonna sell all the amiibos that I have.
Yeah.
Like even if I wasn't gonna sell Smash Brothers, which I don't know if I will or not. The one thing I can't sell any Mario Party games. I know that for sure, because that's a big no from my wife. She wants the Mario Party games. It's like I guess even if we don't have the system to play it on, we need the Mario Party games.
Interesting. Yeah.
But her favorite console is like the Nintendo 64. And she has every color variant of it. So I can't sell any of those.
When you say, do you mean every like in the U.S. or you're talking like also the ones in Japan
No,
too?
every U.S. color variant.
Okay.
So we
That's
don't have
still-
like we got the Pikachu one, but we don't have the Japanese Pikachu one. You know?
Yeah. That's what I figured. No, some of those can be kind of like can be like kind of spendy.
Well, she's
Kinda
got the
expensive.
she got the Toys R Us exclusive gold Nintendo 64 with 2 controllers, complete in the box.
Holy shit, that's yeah.
I don't even know how much that's worth, really, to be honest.
But see, like stuff like that makes sense to me. If there's like, let's say, like a console or something that you love and it brings you much joy, then why
Well-
not? And then I think for something like that, if it's like, hey, we're gonna keep all the Mario parties, like we're gonna keep our favorite like 10 or 20 64, yeah, then don't sell that. Like if that's but maybe you don't need like, let's say if you had 100 games, I'm making this number, like maybe you don't need like those other 80 ones that you never play. You know what I mean?
What was I going to look up? What did I say? Oh, the gold Nintendo 64. I think the most expensive thing we have that we can't sell is Haunting Ground for the PS2, sealed.
Why? Wow. Why doesn't she want to sell that?
Because of how much money it's worth.
But wouldn't that be the reason? Wouldn't that be? Or is she just wanting to like wait for it to go up and?
No, I don't know, because she bought it. She remembers she got it at Costco, and she never opened it, and it just keeps going up in value. I actually wound up getting a like a $20 case protector for it, just in case. It's really
Yeah,
thick
dude,
acrylic.
you should get like one of those acrylic ones for sure.
Well, I do have it. That's what it's in right now.
Oh, okay.
But she wants to get it graded. I personally don't see a point to getting it graded, but whatever.
And I assume it's the U.S. version, obviously, because that's.
Oh yeah, well it's funny because it's got the sticker on it. It says works with the PS3. Let's see.
So here's what's interesting if we look at price charting.
Yeah, I've got it right here.
Yes. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, keep it. So why like completes? Yeah, it's like. So here's what's interesting. Complete is $400. I guess new, would that be sealed? I guess
new is sealed. Yeah.
But graded though. That's wow.
Yeah.
Just the manual is $100. That's insane. And it's a Capcom game.
Oh, here we go. Gold Nintendo 64 system. Holy crap. Maybe she'll want to sell it if I show her this. I don't know. Complete in box price. Gold Nintendo 64 system. You want to take a guess?
Oh my! I'm gonna share it on the. Oh my god! No, I'm gonna share that. Oh my dude! Oh my god! That is insane. It's like wow, $2,500 complete, and wow.
Just the box is over $1,000.
Yeah, and the man. Oh my god. Yeah, that's like. See, the thing is, with that type of. Hey, Thunder Trucks. With that type of stuff, it's tough, right? Because when it's at a high price like that, it almost like I would just kind of be afraid that that maybe it might go down. Like you know what I mean? Like you never know.
Okay, but look at the last sale though. Complete in box, brand new console. It actually sold for like almost half of what the complete price is over there. So it's still. Oh wait, you're looking at something different than I am.
I'm looking at price charting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at price charting too, but I only see one from 9. Oh, maybe I have something different clicked on.
Yeah, so I typed
What do you?
in like.
Oh, you have loose. You have loose selected. Select new. New sold listings. Well, just like new.
Oh, I see.
That's what I'm looking at. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. That makes more sense. Yeah.
Okay, so actually that's new. What I mean when I look at is complete CIB complete in box sold. Okay, that's where they're getting that 2,500 because the last one that was listed like that sold for that much.
Wow.
So it's the one tab over CIB. They're 17.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's pretty recent. 25. Okay. Wow, before that, okay, so it's interesting. So it's, you know what? It's almost like, I want to say, to the right person, if they're getting more difficult to find, you may be able to sell one to somebody. Might pay $4,000 for it. I don't know, maybe more. It just depends, right? Like it's tricky.
You want to see another crazy one? I sold this already. Look up Mighty Final Fight.
Oh God. Lady. Which for what, the Famicom or the Nintendo?
Oh, the Nintendo NES.
Yeah. Whoa, Jesus. Okay, that's a big. Oh my God, that's a big difference.
I
That's like
sold it. I
Yeah.
sold it for $800. You want to take a guess at how much I paid for it?
Like $50.
$5.
Wow.
It was at a Play and Trade. They had it. $5. Complete box. Okay, I'll buy it.
Damn. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Prices on this fluctuate. Ooh, kind of between $600 and $1,200. Wow. And then that's low. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to kind of click on those to see exactly what the listing is, you know. Maybe it's not actually complete in box. Maybe it's really beat up, you know.
Yes, of course.
But yeah, there's some prices. Some of the stuff you wouldn't even think of are just crazy out there. Like, especially a Nintendo 64. I was not expecting that. Like, what are the other colors, though, I wonder?
But it is one of those things where it's kind of like, I understand, though, why your wife wouldn't want to sell it, because you know very damn well, like, if you sell something, like, you're not going to buy it back because it's too expensive. But you know what? So that's kind of. But at the same time, that's like a lot of money. So it's like, hey, I could use this. I could just stuff like that. I would sell it in a heartbeat and put the money in savings and not even.
But why are all these just loose so much? These colors.
Yeah.
The orange one, $200. The purple one, $167. The blue one, $163. The green one, $136. The black one, smoke, $203.
I think it just depends on what you have in it. Now, that's what, like, stuff that, like, GameCube games and things I've traded in. Like, I bought those like years ago, like Super Mario Sunshine, when it was like $20. So it's like I didn't really have like much into it, and whatever I traded in for, I tripled. You know, so it's like I don't care that it's less than like trying to find a private seller, because that's like a lot of work. It just depends. Order from no, I haven't ordered from Play Asia. I'm aware of Play Asia, but I've never personally ordered from them.
I ordered from them a long time ago. It's been a long time since I ordered anything from them.
They're supposed to be good and reliable if you want, like, you know, like imports and stuff.
If you want a blast from the past, remember Lick Sang before they went out?
Yes! Well, I haven't heard anyone mention that like in a long.
It's because they're not around. That's why nobody mentions it.
True.
But I would buy from them, and then when they went away, I went to Play Asia.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is interesting to see what you have and what you're sitting on, because I think, like anything else, at some point there'll be that crash where stuff won't be, you know, like like either people who would be into those things, like, you know, wouldn't necessarily care about the nostalgia.
What happens if I search for that? Oh, it comes up to a Wikipedia page about them. Yep. They closed in 2006. As a result of multiple lawsuits filed against them by Sony.
Ooh. Oh wow. Yeah, that would
I knew it was something like that, but I couldn't remember exactly what it was. Oh, it wasn't just them. It was Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft. Because you know why? It's because they sold mod chips.
Oh.
That's why I bought from them too, because I bought mod chips from them.
I think I kind of remember they were known from that. Like, yeah, you can buy your import games.
And it was like, they have like the R4 cartridge and stuff. Like, that let you like load up ROMs onto DS and stuff.
Yeah. I will be playing more Life on Mars tonight, but... So it kind of goes back to the whole thing. So, like, yes, physical media. I guess, like, and here's the one thing that I love about, like, Steam, is that, like, in theory, your access to games, like, no matter, like, will be able to live on forever, unless like Steam goes under, which would be highly unlikely. Kind of meaning, like, let's say your PC fails or your Steam Deck fails, you will always be able to get a PC that plays Steam games. You know what I mean? Like in the future, you'll always be able to upgrade and have a way to play those games as long as you have access to those games, which is the catch, right?
Well,
Like then,
you know where to look. You can access anything you want.
yeah, true. But then it's the amount of work, right? And that's the thing. Like Steam makes it like really easy instead of having to go down and like torrent all that stuff, and then do some of those things have viruses? Do they? Whatever. And then you can always. But that's what's like you get the most. But then if you have physical stuff, as long as the integrity of the physical stuff is good, you can play it forever. So it's kind of there's pros and cons, kind of like of both of those type of things. So we'll just have to see. Sweet, I heart. Well, try to caverns too. Yeah, I found Mars. But yeah, no, it's interesting how I like how we went there, the Evercast, like talking about like the cost of different things and all that. But yeah, it is amazing. Like the Famicom version of that is like, let me go like Mighty Final Fight. Yeah, the loose price on that is like $40. So and like the loose price on the NES version is still like $256. So it's amazing. Yeah. And then the PAL version is actually worth close to the.
I think the game that might be the reverse of that, where the Japanese version is more expensive, might be Battletoads.
It could be. I can tell you another one that's more expensive too, which is like the first Castlevania, because that came out on a cart later.
Do you know that the Japanese version of Battletoads is easier than the US version?
Yes. Let me look that up. So like, if we were to ever get that, like, give us that ROM. What? Oh, how did I hit 3 instead of a? Yeah, no, it's interesting. Like there are some like exceptions to that.
Let's see here.
That's $64 loose for Famicom. God, the complete in box. Holy crap, though. And the Nintendo version's like $24 loose. Yeah. So it's like a third of the cost, but I get that. Because of the difficulty. Well, just like the Adventures of Bayou Billy, the Japanese version's easier on that too. Like they just like made the US version disgustingly.
Well, they made that harder because they were trying to make it so people couldn't beat it in one rental.
Yes. Either that, and that was like always like at Walmart, they had that game on display, so maybe they didn't want people to beat the on display game. But that's how I do it.
Yeah, I guess there's that too. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Just about anything could have been like on display. You never knew.
Yeah. But I always heard that with some games. I don't know if that was true. Like sometimes they would do the opposite. Like they would make the first level or so like easy to draw you in, but then they'd make the other levels harder. So that way, if you rented it, then you'd want to go back and buy the game to keep it. I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but it wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me. Oh wow, we're holy crap! No, I know why we're at the 2-hour mark. I didn't have anything technically planned except being hungry like after this. But no, I was glad I was glad it wasn't completely my fault. And you're still able to join because I was like, yeah, Crow should be here. Yeah, so then he popped in.
I was like, did everybody oversleep or something? Because I was like,
that happens again. Like direct message me and be like, are we still having this today? Like, oh crap! Because sometimes what I'll do like early in the morning before work is I'll just like get up while I'm eating breakfast. I'll queue up everything, get it ready, and then I get this time. Yeah, like I forgot to put the link, so it's like no, but it's good to have the link to know. Yeah.
Well, I knew because you had the schedule. The stream was scheduled on YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's why it was in the chat. And I'm like, just let him know if he starts it and there's no link.
You're right. Yeah, that was fun. But yeah. Anything you want to plug for next week on your channel?
Well, I'm still working on. Let's see. I put the video for the 7 Atari games I got. I actually got another one, and I'm probably getting another one. I should probably do another video for that Bentley Bears Crystal Crest, since I figured out why I couldn't play it right. Because I don't know if you saw the video, but I couldn't run or jump. I'm sorry, I couldn't run or shoot. I could only jump, and even jump was only pushing up. I couldn't use the button to jump. And I couldn't figure out what it was, and it was like a day or two later, and I actually was looking it up, and I found out apparently there's two different versions of the manual, and one version mentions that, oh, if you're going to play, you need to have the difficulty switch set to this setting, or if you're going to play with this controller or something like that. And I was like, okay, and I tried it again, and it worked. I was like, oh, maybe I'll revisit it. I don't know. But then I have another one. I've got another one in the mail. I got Save Mary, and I'm getting another 2600 version of Fatal Run soon, so I might make videos on those. I don't know. I'm still in the process. I put up yesterday a video for Earthshaker. I'm in the process of making one for Bonsai Run, but I still need to film one for Black Knight 2000. Someday I'll finish Sunsoft Collection 2. I've been working on that since October now that I think about it.
There you go.
But I'm working on other stuff too. Like I said, this week was all about. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I was moving large, heavy stuff all over the place in the house last week, because we were getting new furniture this week. So I had to take all the old furniture out. We got the new furniture yesterday, and plus I sold 2 pinball machines. So I had to get 2 pinball machines out of the house. So
Yeah. Did you do that all by yourself, or did you have like?
Oh no. The well, with the furniture, I kind of did. My wife was trying to help, but she shouldn't, because she's got like a weird issue with her foot, so she shouldn't really be standing on it. But with the pinball machines, the guys that came and bought it helped me take it out.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's good, because I was like, damn, how the hell? Like,
But I will say I have gotten machines in my house by myself. But yeah, that's about it. Whether or not I actually move forward on what stuff, we'll see. I want to get stuff listed on. I have stuff listed on Facebook Marketplace, but I need to get stuff listed on eBay. I just don't know when I'm going to start that. That's something I've been trying to get started for a couple of weeks already, and I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, no, because you have to sit down. You want to make sure you have good pictures, and you want to make sure you put a.
It's not just that, but a lot of the stuff I need to get out from under the crawl space, and I was gonna pull it all out one day, but I only pulled some of it out because there was way more than I thought there would be under there.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. If it's stuff that like you've kept in there and you haven't seen it in years, you might as well sell it and get money for it than just have it like.
Well, it's like boxes, the stuff too. Like, if I'm gonna sell my some of the game consoles, the boxes are under there, so I need to get the boxes and stuff.
Man, as we found, some of those boxes can be worth a lot of money. Jesus Christ. Yeah. No, I was gonna say Fatal. Like, what was it, like a few streams ago? I played that at Atari 50, and that I was actually impressed how good that game is.
Which version of Fatal Run was it? Was it sort of 2600 or 7800?
This the seven. Oh, I didn't the 7800 version.
Yeah, I'm getting the 2600 version. I already have the 7800 version on cartridge. I already did a video for that.
I didn't know they did a 2600.
I don't know if it was something they had or if it's something that was recently made.
Okay, like a demake kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know.
But that game felt ahead of its, like almost kind of like could have been like a modern day indie game. Like the graphics and the charm, like I was really impressed. It's kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I think that cart like loose like sells for like $150, so I'm glad that
which one? Fatal Run?
Fatal Run. Yeah, isn't it like ridiculously expensive, like loose?
They're selling it at Atari.com, so it's just like a reproduction or something.
Yeah. I think that's why, because you can buy it from Atari for $30 versus if you want like the original one. I think it's one of the reasons they did that, because it was like one of the better 7800 games. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, they did that with like the first 3 of them. They did was like Food Fight, Ninja Golf, and Fatal Run. Those were the first 3. Yeah. So I wasn't gonna do Food Fight because I already had Food Fight, but I wound up going back and buying it anyway because I wanted like the 2 different versions, the original version in box and then the newer version in box, just to see the differences.
Well, yeah, then you can kind of put them next to each other on a shelf, and it'll look nicer than.
Yeah, well, you can tell the difference. There's definitely a difference between the 2 packagings. They look very similar, but there's noticeable differences.
Yeah, and I guess we should mention too, at the Atari releasing it like they're PCBs, so like you're not gonna.
Yes.
They're read only. You're not gonna have the same.
Yes, they're cartridge. Well, there's no. you can't connect to the internet with the Atari 2600 Plus, so
No.
it's not even a possibility.
Yeah, well, they did that too for people who have like OG hardware, and so they can just pop the carts into that and have
Yeah.
it like work. And all that. So, yeah, tonight I'll be live at the same time, 9 p.m. Central. Play a bunch of things. I don't like my next. I don't know. My next video for next week. I was gonna put up maybe my first impressions of Toplin 4, but I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. Maybe I'll do Life on Mars. I don't know if I want to talk about like this card. I don't know. Maybe I'll do Evercade. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do for next week. I will say though, for my channel members, I do have my monthly video, and this one was actually like a tote that I found, like plastic tote that I found in the garage, and I was taking out Christmas ornaments. I thought we like had gotten rid of all our VHS like tapes, and it was heavier than hell. I think like, it was like me and my wife's collection. So I went through that, and then for my channel members, I will do more. I'll do more Smeagol karaoke. Smeagol karaoke, yeah. I don't know. People seem to like that. I'm gonna do. I had to do something for Christmas for my channel members, so I will sing that. Yeah, and actually, it's a. I was gonna say that was actually like Genejoke. You can blame him because he said like, "Would you sing like Barbie Girl in Smeagol's voice? Like, would you make a video of that?" And I said, "Well, I'll do that for channel members because that's where it belongs." But I'm like, "You wouldn't be able to watch it because you're not a member." And he joined to be a member just to see that. And yeah. So people like, but that's if people, yeah. I say to be a member though, that's if you want to see like the other level of like weirdness that I don't put on my main channel. But at least though, like YouTube lets you put out those things, right? Like you just get a copyright claim. It's like, but I don't monetize member videos anyways, so I don't care. Although I do feel bad if there's like commercials in it, but whatever. So yeah, that's what I think my first video the next year will be the Game Boy Chromatic. I will have to do something on that. And actually, I think I've said like for that we talked. They're sold out except for GameStop. And yeah, so that'll be cool. Oh no! Oh my god! Oh my god! I think I agree with you. Huh? I did want to do like a Christmas theme, but maybe I don't know. Oh my god! Or I did that one Whitney Houston song, like singing that to like my Evercade VS, like "And I will love you."
Does
Oh my
anybody
god!
ever walk in on you while you're doing this?
So funny that you mentioned that. That comes up like getting caught. When I did do like the Whitney, like I had my wife, like, did you hear anything? No, but I'm always like paranoid about that. When I did like there's a video I did where I didn't sing to like Mortal Kombat, but like I just like I lip synced. I lip synced to that, but I was wearing like just like sweatpants. I guess a long sleeve shirt, and then I put on a winter hat that could kind of fold over as to be a ninja mask. And because I was moving around, I was getting kind of hot. And so like afterwards, my wife and daughter got back and they saw I was like panting and all sweating. Like, what the hell were you doing? So kind of, but yeah. Do I own a mesh shirt? I don't think that I do. But yeah, I am always paranoid of that. So I try to do that sometimes. There's no one else home with people like walking in and seeing and like not being able to unsee. Yeah, that is a real concern. That is a real concern there. I'd be like, oh, so sexy for my Evercade. Oh my god, that's what I mean. I think I might, but yeah. So far, when like channel members have asked me like requests, I haven't said no. So maybe I need to do that. Maybe I can do that with some Christmas songs.
I'm just thinking about how many times you've been watching Rich and somebody just walks in on him. You know?
Yes. Yeah. It's kind of funny because well, don't forget he has younger children too, and I think like his office. Oh, no, I know he shares that space with his wife too. Versus me, like my this is the one room that I can do whatever I want. Like I can put feces on the walls. No, but seriously, but like this is the thing. One room that's kind of like mine.
Like I don't have a door to close or anything because I'm just.
See, I do like not even like our bedroom is mine, right? So this is kind of like the one. I couldn't physically do like a backflip. I don't. During my Gothic years, yes, I did have like a fishnet shirt, but I don't know. It would never fit me now, anyways. But still, I can do the singing, right? But yeah, like I meant like as far as like songs and stuff, or someone's like, hey, can you like if it's something I can physically do that's like not unreasonable. Like, you know, I always say like I don't care if you're laughing with me or at me as long as you're laughing. Like, yes, I'm willing to embarrass and humiliate myself if like people have fun. That's like not, you know, that's like not a problem. Yeah, I think it was Immortal, like when I first started like doing stuff like that, like his thing was like, "Have we paid for this?" Question mark. But yeah. So, anyways, we're going off on tangents and stuff. But no, this has all been good. So I think we've plugged stuff. We're gonna go ahead and end it here. Evercade next year is gonna be exciting, and yeah. Bye everyone.
See ya.
Thanks, Crash Line, Mr. Shua, Immortal Sojourn, Sucker MC, Ember Cummings, Joe Whitlash.